That movie is a shit show. What you think you see, what you think you hear, that's what it's about. It's all theater of the mind. No, it's garbage. It's garbage. Mood and atmosphere. Now that I really like. That's what I'm looking for. That's what I want to see.
What is going on, everybody? How you doing? Happy Tuesday afternoon. It is 2 o'clock or just after 2 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Tuesday, October the 26th, 2021. My name's Dave McRae, coming to you live from the VoiceMann Studios in Toronto, Canada. And I wanted to jump on today and celebrate 25,000 subscribers. Pretty cool. And it's cool for a number of reasons, which I will go over with you today. I was reflecting on this sort of milestone, and for those of you that have been following me for any length of time, maybe from the very beginning, I don't mean from the very beginning of my YouTube channel, which was 2006. I mean like the beginning, which I kind of have a beginning of when sort of this all kind of began, and it's pretty cool to say the least. So yes, welcome, come all. I'll start sort of getting into that in a moment. We'll see if more people roll on in. This is kind of impromptu. I didn't really announce this. I think I might have mentioned it in passing last night on Two Dudes. I can't remember, but certainly it wasn't planned. I just had some time. I just finished doing a few voiceover auditions, so I would have gone live earlier, but I had work I had to do. So I decided to come on live here and just kind of talk to you guys for a bit and celebrate together 25,000 subscribers. And I'm pretty sure about 24,500 of those are dead accounts, but whatever, that's fine. That's totally fine. That's fine. So why is this such, I mean, you know, like I said, for those of you that have been following me for, a while. Well, actually, you know what? I'll wait for some more people to roll on in, because like I said, it's impromptu here. A couple super chats. David Coe sends in $4.99, says, Dave, I'm offended. You almost burned Halloween 5. Nothing bad has happened to me today so far, and it's 2021, so I need to be offended about something. Thanks, Dave. No problem, my man. It's always... You know, I've said it before, I'll say it again. I am always surprised by how sensitive some fans are. You know, like the other day I uploaded that video where I was pretending to burn Halloween 5, right? And it's just fun. It's just fun. I'm just fucking around. Like, I don't understand why some people just don't get it. You know, I'm just messing around. I'm having fun. It's a joke. Remember back in the day, like, I don't know how old, I mean, you know, not that I'm old, but I'm old enough to remember a time when, you know, we used to tell jokes and do jokes like that and be like, fuck, can't you take a joke? It's just a joke. You know what I mean? Relax. Stop being so sensitive. But I had a few people reach out, were like, and it's like, dude, calm down. What? Anyway, yes, a lot of people are offended today. There's no doubt about that. Super chat from Kevin Fishgulls sends in $2, says, congrats, Dave. Thank you, Kevin. Really appreciate that. Sean Sheridan sends in €4.99, I believe that is, says, congrats on 25,000, Dave. How did you get into voiceover work, and thoughts on Blair Witch Project? Overrated? Do you think it's good horror movie? Okay, well, let me... That's actually we didn't plan this, actually, because I don't know who Sean Sheridan is. That's actually a good segue into what I wanted to kind of reflect on here on today's show. And you know, I wanted to, because I think I passed the 25,000 mark the other day, and I was like, wow, 25,000, because you know, it's no secret that I don't ask people to subscribe to my channel. I never have. You know, I've gotten into the kind of like, make sure, you know, you like it or whatever. But even that I sometimes forget to do. Like, there's 21 thumbs up. There's 80 people watching. Folks, hit the like button. I sometimes forget to do that. But I've never asked anybody to subscribe to my channel. So, and it's like now it's kind of a thing. Like now I feel like it's kind of like that thing where I can't, you know, like I almost feel like I've gone so long without asking anybody to subscribe to the channel that I almost feel like I have to just continue to just not ask people to subscribe to the channel, even though I probably should. It's probably in my best interest to do so, but I never have. And I don't know if that was naivety or ignorance or a combination of the two or what, but for those of you that are maybe brand new or don't really know who I am, because most of you know me as you know, a YouTuber. I mean, you don't really know me as anything else, nor would you, right? I mean, I've shared a bit of my life and what I do and sort of you know, my line of work and all that kind of stuff. But at the end of the day, you know me as Dave McRae, the YouTuber, right? So how did that all begin? Well, it began in 2017. Or I think it was 2016, if I'm not mistaken. I stand to be corrected, but I think it was 2016 that Blumhouse announced that they were going to do a Halloween sequel, which of course ended up being Halloween 18, and that they had just gotten John Carpenter back on board as an executive producer. And it was my girlfriend who said to me, you know, you really need to, because I had put my face on my channel. Like, again, I've had my channel since 2006, but I never really did anything with it. I was uploading tiny little, you know, Halloween fan film stuff and just me and my fucking, you know, really nerdy stuff, right? I'm going to put on my mechanic suit with my mask and walk around in dimly lit, you know, light, you know, and it was fun. Like I had a great time. It was just, you know, expressing myself creatively, right? But that's really all my channel was for a long time. And if you're one of the OGs that have been watching me for a long time, you know that for many years, like 10 years, that's all my channel was. I had like 300 subs or something. I mean, I wasn't anything. And then in 2015, when The Force Awakens came out, I needed to jump. I needed to express myself on my thoughts on Star Wars and The Force Awakens and all that kind of stuff. And I did. And it got a few hits, you know, and then I was on there and I was doing some funny skits. I was doing D. Vinny, and he was giving life advice. It was just a character I was doing. They're probably still on my channel. Just funny shit, right? And then in 2016, like I said, Blumhouse made that announcement. And I think it was 2016. And my girlfriend, she said to me, you know, you really need to, you know, you have a lot to say on this. You know, you're very knowledgeable on this. You have a lot to say that, you know, about this. And, you know, she acknowledged that I was talking about stuff that wasn't just surface level shit, right? Like I was talking about all sorts of stuff. And she knew that I have a certain level of experience, having worked in the business for a long time, that I might be able to bring to talking about movies and specifically horror and Halloween, right? So I was like, yeah, but I was like, I don't know. You know, I mean, I was not lacking confidence. I just was like, I don't know. Do I really want to do that? You know, and then I began to realize, so it's thanks to her. So we have to thank her for me being here today. Because if it wasn't for her, I probably would have bowed out very early on. So that's pretty cool. So I jumped on, I think it was 2017. I jumped on and I did a video on my channel where I think I was sitting in my hallway, or maybe I was sitting here. I just shot it on my phone and I was telling you what I wanted from the next Halloween movie or whatever. I don't know. And I was shooting it on my phone. It was a low angle. It was kind of up at me, you know, and I put that on my channel and it got like, you know, 1,000 views or something, which was huge, you know, at that time. And it was like, holy fuck, like people, and some comments from people I've never heard of. And then my subscribers started to tick up a little bit. And I'm like, oh, this is kind of fun. And, you know, again, I'm not old. I'm only 42, but I'm old enough to remember a time when there was no internet and there certainly was no social media. And when you wanted to express yourself, you would write things down. And some people still do, of course, in a journal or a diary, you know, whatever the case is. And when I was younger, when I was in high school, my high school planner were like diaries or journals of like, you know, the girls I liked or the shenanigans I'd get in with my, you know, my buddies and all that kind of stuff. And, you know, it was just a lot of fun, right? And So I was very used to sort of writing my feelings down and putting it out there, right? Like writing my feelings down and putting it out there. And sometimes that still works today. Sometimes people just need to get it out of them, whether that's just to talk to their best friend or to write it down so it's out and, or write an email that you never send, or whatever the case is. Like sometimes you just need to get it off your chest. And I began to realize early on that this YouTube thing, at least talking on camera, because I didn't do that for a long time, was very therapeutic because I could express myself and because I would watch certain channels or I would watch certain people and I'd be like, oh, no, that's not right. That's just not right. Like actually not right. Like they're saying something that is factually not right. And I'm like, that's not right. And I'm like, God damn it. And I'm like, I don't know how to tell them it's not right. So I, or just they were talking about things that is totally right, but everybody was kind of talking about the same stuff or whatever. And I'm not saying I'm the first person to come on here and talk about it in a different way. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that these are some of the things that I noticed. So I started to jump on, and that first video, I should say, like I said, got like 1,000 views or whatever. And then I did another one, and then I did another one. And then I noticed that when more Halloween stuff would come out, I would jump on and people started to kind of, but I never remembered to ask people to subscribe because I didn't jump on YouTube to build a channel. I didn't jump on YouTube to have some sort of, career. I didn't jump on YouTube to start making money or there was nobody that influenced me to jump on YouTube, right? Or inspired me to do so. I needed to express myself. And as somebody who is, a talker, a speaker, I'm animated, theatrical, I'm an actor, right? And so I need that. I need that creative, that creative outlet, essentially, right? To be able to express myself. I need that stage, essentially, right? I need a stage. Where the fuck's my stage? So, and this was it. And I didn't know that, but I never asked anybody to subscribe. I didn't think to do it. Like it didn't even dawn on me to go, and anyways, folks, that's going to be it for me. Hey, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and smash that notification bell and hit that thumbs up button. I never even thought to do that because I wasn't doing it to get subscribers. I wasn't doing it to get likes. I didn't understand that. I didn't care. I would shoot. I wouldn't care. Like at the end of the day, I wouldn't have cared if 30 people watched it or if 3,000 people had watched it because I knew that it was out there. It was like, it's out there. Great. Now I feel good. I can go back and do whatever I was doing. But I started to gain a bit of a following. And this is 2017. And then my real breakthrough was, I think it was late August or September of 2017, where I did a video on Jamie Lee Curtis returning. And I was reading the synopsis that was on the official Halloween movies website. And there were and the synopsis was written in a way where I was one of the first, I believe I was, one of the first, I'm not going to say the first, because obviously I don't know for sure, but I certainly was one of the first to come on and say, Halloween 2 is not going to be included in this. And people were like, what the fuck? No way. No, come on. That's not. People were fucking like, no way. And I was like, no, I'm telling you. And this was sort of my first kind of backlash. It was kind of like, it was the first time I had people, and not that I had been doing it for very long, maybe like 3 other videos, but this was the first time people were like, no way, no way. And I was like, yes, I'm telling you, and here's why. Read this synopsis. And it was not really a synopsis. It was kind of like the official announcement. And it had a bit of the kind of what the story was about, but I don't think it was the full synopsis, but maybe it was. Anyway, I can't remember. It was like 4.5 years ago. So the way it was written, I was like, I forget what it was, but there was something that was written in there where I honed in on, and I was like, you know what? They're negating part 2. Part 2 is not going to exist. And because part 2 is such a fan favorite, I like it too. It's still my second favorite sequel, or my first favorite sequel, my second favorite film in the Halloween franchise. People were like, no way. Like they couldn't fathom it, right? It's like, no way, no way. Well, they ended up actually doing what I thought they were going to do because it was all there in the writing. It was just, they didn't say it, but the way the sentence was structured and what they were focusing on, I was like, I think they're going to get rid of it. And they did. Anyway, but that's not why that video got a lot of views. I think it got like 5,000 views, but that's not why it did. It because I was talking about Jamie Lee Curtis, and I got 5,000 views, and I was like, holy shit, that was the most I did. Well, I don't know if it was the most. I think I had another video on my channel that had 5,000 views, but it wasn't of me. It was like something I had uploaded about some funny thing or something. I was like, holy shit, 5,000 views. And then at that point, I think I was over 1,000 subscribers, and it was like, wow, this is really kind of cool. Like, people actually care about what I want to, or what I have to say. But again, I wasn't asking people to subscribe to me. It didn't even dawn on me to do that. So, but that's how it began. That's how it began. And I'm often asked, some people have reached out to me even as recently as just this last few days when I passed the 25,000 mark, saying, dude, you should be at like 50,000 by now. Like, why are you only at 25,000? Not that it's only 25,000, but you know what I mean, right? Because there's other people in our space that are a lot further ahead. And, obviously I don't know for sure, but in my estimation, I believe it's because the reason for that is because I'm not like, you have to look at the differences between the channels, right? So for me, I was gaining quite a bit of momentum in 2018, and I was doing a lot of pre-recorded videos, right? So I was recording them and uploading them, recording them and uploading them. And then in 2020, at the beginning of 2020, just before the pandemic hit, I decided to switch up the format a bit and do live shows. And the reason why I decided to do that was because it fit my schedule better, and it fit kind of me better in a lot of ways. I'm comfortable being live. I'm comfortable being spontaneous. I like the spontaneity of it, and it was just more fun for me as a performer. It was fun. So that's why I did that. Of course, that was McRae Live, right? And but in terms of the long format live shows, they're not the best for YouTube algorithms, like unless you're Joe Rogan, right? Let's be honest. But they're not the best for that. And I'm not just talking Halloween. Now I'm talking about all sorts of things I want to talk about. So, people are not watching the whole thing in its entirety, right? People don't generally care about a lot of the topics that I'm talking about, but I care about it, right? Unless I'm talking Halloween. So the momentum that I was on, like when you look at my arc, it was like, wow, this guy's going to cross like 40,000 subs. And then all of a sudden I switched up my format and I sort of plateaued off a bit. And then it started to get a bit slower. So that's why it's not, I don't think it has anything to do with me or the channel. It's just the way that I switched up the format. But I had to do that because if I didn't do that, I wouldn't have been able to put out any content because of how busy things were getting with It's Me, Billy, how busy things were getting with the VO side of things. There was just a lot going on at that time, and I felt that it was the right thing to do. And at the end of the day, I'm not doing it for subscribers. I'm not doing it for likes or thumbs up, or well, I guess that's likes, or anything like that. I'm not doing this to turn it into a career. I have a career as a professional voice actor. I've worked in the entertainment industry for, 20 years this year, 2001. So, I just wanted to jump on initially 5 years ago or 4 years ago, I guess, to, kind of just express myself, just to get what I was, and I needed to get it out, right? I needed to get it out. So that's why I did that. And now it's turned into this really cool thing, like this really cool kind of, I don't know if I want to call it a hobby, but kind of, and it's kind of strange in a lot of ways, and I'm still getting used to it. I'm still getting sort of used to this YouTube thing, which is really, really cool. And I'm having a lot of fun. And I know there's people out there that don't like me or think they don't like me. They don't know me. So, as I said to that guy, Mike, the other day, who was having some trouble with people not, because he was just beginning a YouTube channel. I'm sure you saw my post about it. I said, it's not that they don't like you, Mike. They don't know you, right? It's, people feel they know me because it's like I'm like a news anchor that's in their, living room each and every day or something. So you feel like you know the person, but in reality, you don't know them. You know my on-screen Dave McRae YouTube persona, but you don't know me personally. So that's why I never get offended, if somebody doesn't like me or writes something bad about me or talks behind my back or whatever. It's like, well, they don't know who I am. It's not that they don't like me, they just don't like what I'm saying. Or I come across as smug or arrogant. I'm accused of that too, right? But it's just because of my persona. I can be blunt and I can be, theatrical and stuff. And sometimes people are like, the fuck do this guy think he is? Saying that shit, right? It is what it is, right? You can't do this thing. You can't do this thing with never do this, never come on here trying to please everybody, because you're not going to do it. It's just not going to happen. You have to be you, and you got to put yourself out there, and you got to let the chips fall where they may, which is what I did. And it's turned into like this really cool kind of YouTube thing that I have, which is awesome. So that's kind of how it began, but yeah, I mean, 25,000 subscribers is nothing to sneeze at. I mean, that's 25,000 subscribers. That's crazy, especially for me, when I was just like, I just need something I just need to get this off my chest. So John Carpenter's coming back. I mean, I never thought, at that time that would turn into 25,000 subs. I never thought of that, which is really, really cool. But that's why I'm not further ahead. For those of you that are wondering, if I had stuck with the format that I had, if I was able to stick with it, yeah, I probably would be over 40 by now. Certainly based on the current trend that I was on. When I look at the statistics, the momentum and the trend, certainly I probably would be over 40. But I made a switch, and I made a switch because if I didn't, I might not have been able to do it at all. So that's why I made the switch. But yeah, I'm happy that, with 25K, I mean, that's fucking crazy. And 30 is just around the corner. 30 is just around the corner. You know what I mean? I mean, it's crazy. So maybe I should now start saying, hey, people, maybe I should start. Maybe this is the moment where I start saying it. Although everybody in the chat room I know is subscribed to me, because they all couldn't have been because I have that chat thing on where only subscribers are allowed to comment. But hey, if you're watching after the fact, here, I'm going to say it. For the first time in history, I'm going to say it. Are you ready, folks? Should I say it? Should I say it? Folks, should I say it? Or should I just keep the streak going? Or should I finally say it? Should I finally say it? I'll let the chat room decide. We'll let the chat room decide, and then we'll go to the Q&A. We'll let the chat room decide, and then we'll go to the Q&A. Should I finally say it? Although, like I said, everybody in the chat room has already subscribed to me. So it's not really a big deal. But maybe if you're watching and you're not in there, or maybe no, everyone's saying no. No. Oh, the chat room has spoken. They're all, no, then we got say it. Don't say it, Dave. Oh, maybe I should put up a poll. Okay, I'm going to put up a poll. Here we go. Here's the poll. Should I, for the first time, tell people to subscribe to me? Okay, here we go. Should I, for the first time, tell people to subscribe to me? And there you go. I'm asking the community, ladies and gentlemen. The poll is up. Where is it? Why don't I see it? Did the poll go up? Did you guys see oh, there it is. There's the poll. There's the poll. Should I, for the first time, tell people to subscribe to me? This is interesting. I wonder what the results are going to be, folks. What are the results going to be? What are the results? Why can't I fucking see this poll? Oh, there we go. There we go. Oh, no is in the lead. No is in the lead. People do not want the streak to be... Oh, but the yes is coming. This is like a fucking horse race. Yes is coming down the line. Here comes yes. He's coming down the line, but no is right up behind it. No, yes is in the lead. Yes is in the lead. No is taking the lead. No is taking the lead by a nose. Now yes is taking the lead by a nose. It's going back and forth. They're going down the straight. 51%, 49%. Now it's at 50-50%. 50-50%. What is going on now? It's 50-50. Yes and no. No, yeah, no, yes, no. They're nose and neck and nose. Whatever the hell it is, they're going down the aisle. Here it is. 80 votes are in. They're going. It's 50-50. 50-50. Once it's going on, it's going down the aisle. Here it goes. Oh my God. No, it's in the lead. No, it's in the lead. Yeah. No, it's taking the lead. No, it's taking the lead. It's 52. It's like a fucking horse race. This is close. This is actually really close. Holy shit, what's going on? What's going to happen? It's 51% to 49%. Yes, and Noah's taking the lead. Noah's in the lead. Holy crap, 94 votes. What's going to happen? There's only 184 people in the chat room. Amazing. Well, I will leave that poll up for a bit. Let's go and get a few of your super chats here. Because some did come in. Oh, I think I answered. Did I get those? Oh, yeah. I got. Oh, and then, sorry. It was a long-winded answer, wasn't it? You asked about voiceover. How did I get into voiceover? Okay, I have answered this before. I'll try to make this as short as possible because we've already been on for like 20 minutes here. So I come from a family where I come from a very theatrical family, in terms of, I grew up in a media family. My dad was a journalist here in Canada, and he was on the radio, TV, all that kind of stuff. And I just always had a knack for doing. Not that doing funny voices mean you can do voiceover. I'm just saying, as a kid, I used to emulate my dad, who was very much into doing funny voices and being theatrical and all that kind of stuff. Because, voiceover is acting. It's voice acting, right? You're just acting behind the microphone. And so just because you have a nice voice doesn't mean that you're going to be successful in voiceover. That's one of the biggest misconceptions about voiceover is that, oh, I have a radio voice, I'm going to be successful in voiceover. No, you're not. No, I mean, you might be, but not necessarily. It's about voice acting. How good of a performer you are. How good of an actor are you? How well can you take it? How well can you take direction? How well can you interpret a script? All that kind of jazz, right? You're acting. You're acting just behind a microphone instead of in front of a camera. So, but anyway, I didn't start out that way. I always dabbled in it. I mean, I was on my college radio station and things like that, but I went to college for film, for radio, television, film. And because I wanted to be a filmmaker, I studied film. I took 2 years of film and that's what I wanted to do. And then long story short, I also wanted to be an on-camera actor. And I started out that way in the early 2000s. I was doing auditions. I was in a few commercials, on some docudramas. And then I broke my teeth playing street hockey. I know, such a Canadian thing, isn't it? But I did, and that put me on hiatus for a little bit. But I could still do voiceover. So I decided to do that while I was waiting to have my teeth fixed, essentially. And then the rest is history. I never looked back. I started out doing that, and then became quite successful at it. And then I never looked back. And that was that. But I always call myself, I should say, I always think of myself as not just a voice actor. I'm a performer. I'm an actor because that's my background, right? I have a diploma in acting. I went to film school. I have a lot of experience and interest in a lot of sort of areas in the performing and the behind the scenes side. So that's kind of the Cliff Notes version of it, of how I got into voiceover. And Blair Witch Project, overrated? Do you think it's good? The Blair Witch Project, I think the first Blair Witch Project is a little overrated, but I don't think it's a terrible horror movie. But I think it's a little overrated. Good Real Hunting sends in $5, says, congratulations on 25K. How do you celebrate accomplishments or special occasions? Keep up the great work. That's a good idea. I don't know. I'm pretty low key. I'm not somebody that has, I know a lot of people, but I'm not somebody that has a lot of friends. Do you know what I mean by that? Like, I'm somebody that, I know a lot of people, obviously, but I have maybe like a few friends that I would hang out with, or that I would genuinely go to a movie with, or out to dinner with to celebrate, or something like that. I'm pretty, I'm obviously a very extroverted person, and certainly an extrovert, but there's an introverted side to me. And at the end of the day, when I am performing, whether it's on here or back in the day when I was doing some theater, or whether it's doing voiceover work, I actually have a voice session this Friday, actually. One of my first in-studio sessions in a while, because obviously with everything going on, we've been recording a lot from home. So it's an animation session this Friday, and I get to go into the studio this time. I'm like, yay, because I love that, because then you get to meet the directors and all that in person, and you get to, it's so much, as a performer, it's so much, yes, we can do it from home, which is great, but it's so much easier as an actor to actually be in the studio, being able to play off other people, and it's just great. So I'm looking forward to that. But you know, I'm somebody that once that's done, I like to come home and kind of just do my own thing, watch a movie, be by myself or whatever. Like I'm very sort of, I just kind of like, I'm very low key. I mean, maybe, you know, when I was younger, maybe, but as you get older, you tend to kind of appreciate the smaller things, you know? I mean, like, let's say I got a huge role or something, right? On some big Disney cartoon or something, right? I would probably celebrate by like going out to dinner with my girlfriend or my best friend or whatever. Like, you know what I mean? Like just something like that. Like I'm very low key, you know, I really am all about sort of the work and not the glam really at the end of the day. Hey, Darren, nice to see Darren here. Good afternoon, folks. Good afternoon, Darren. Oh, that poll is 50. No is leading. No, but it's close. It's close. That is funny. David Coe sends in $4.99. Thank you, David. Says, I remember when you did your ranking videos, you had to repeat, remember, these are just my thoughts a bunch of times, yet still people would be upset. Yeah, I've noticed I had to do that very early on. You know, when I first sprung onto the scene, you know, and obviously people like Cody Leach and Drum Dums and the Wham guys and, maybe Jimmy Champagne. I can't remember if I was after Jimmy Champagne or if he was before me. Or if he was after me or before. I can't remember. But anyway, yeah, there's definitely when I first was, because I had seen what other people were, like I had seen what was going on in other channels. And I wanted to avoid that. Like, I don't have time for that. I don't have time. I'm 42 years old. I don't give a shit. Like I say this with all due respect. I don't care. And I think that was what really started people thinking I was arrogant, was when I would be so blunt like that. Like I would just be so like, without any sort of filter, I would just say, listen, I don't care. And I would say it like that, right? But I had to say it like that to really kind of just, to be effective, right? I had to go to the extreme to make a point, because the last thing I wanted was, okay, if I'm going to start doing this on the semi-regular, which, I mean, look, you're always going to get, you know, trolls and all that kind of stuff. You're always going to get that, right? But I don't have time for that shit. Like, I just don't have time for this. You know, it's like, fuck, I don't have to. So it's like, you know, save yourself the long diatribe. Save yourself the, just save it, because I don't care. You know what I mean? And I know that certainly rubbed a lot of people the wrong way, because people didn't really know me at first. So maybe people felt like I hadn't really earned my place to say that. Maybe that was part of it. I don't know. But I chose to be that way right out of the gate when I started to notice certain kind of, you know, the fucking piece of shit, whatever, right? Right out of the gate, I was nipping it in the ass right away. So people knew, hey, just don't, you know, I like what I like, and I'm going to be me, and you're coming into my home. This is my channel. This is my home. You're not going to tell me how to behave in my home. You know, if you like it, great. If you don't, there's the door. You know, you're not paying for this, you know, so as I often say. So, and I think other people have started to say that now too. I've noticed some people defending me in the comment section. You're not paying for this. I'm like, oh God. But it's true, you know, so, you know, I'm not that, you know, as some people have seen me a certain way, and that's fair. I can understand why they might see me that way, but I'm really not that way. I'm really not that way. I just had to come out of the gate firing, because the last thing I wanted, that if I'm going to enjoy this, if I'm going to do this, I want people to know up front, hey, don't even, you know, we can like what we like, we can exchange, we can have fun. You can make fun of a movie that I like, I can make fun of a movie you like, and we can have a good laugh and have a lot of fun with it. But the second shit gets overly serious, it's like, fuck off, get out of here. I don't have time for that. Like, calm down. Okay, we're just having fun here, you know? Like, I mean, relax. It's YouTube. It's not real. Anyway. So, yes, I was doing that quite a bit, and I still do it a fair bit, but certainly in the very beginning, I was doing that a lot. That is true. That is very true. Joe Smidjon Jr. Smidjon. God, I always forget. Sends in $5. Thank you, buddy. Congrats on 25K. And what's your opinion on the Chucky TV series so far, if you have watched any of it? I actually haven't watched any of it. I don't get cable, so I don't get sci-fi. Now, maybe there's another way to watch it. I'm not sure. I'm not a big Chucky fan. I mean, I leave that to Cody Leach. He's the Chucky expert. I wouldn't mind checking it out, like at least the first episode, you know, just to kind of see what it's like. But I'm not missing it. You know what I mean? Like in terms of like, I haven't really thought about it, because I'm not I like the first movie and I like the second movie, but that's kind of where Chucky stops with me. So yeah, I really haven't given it much thought. Maybe it'll end up on, like, maybe there'll be another way for me to see it, or maybe there is. Comment below, comment in the chat and let me know. Or yeah, I guess below as well if you're watching after the fact. Let's see here. Al Locan, is that how you say that? There's the voiceover in me. Locan. $2. Thanks, buddy. Appreciate that. Julian Salgado, I think, sends in $5, says, just realized John, Jamie, and Karen are all siblings in a multiverse type of thing. That's how you know the Laurie story is so overdone. It's overdone. Cheers, Dave. Yeah, oh, it's true. Oh, yeah, they are. You know, I mean, if Halloween wanted to go the Marvel way, they certainly could, and, you know, bring them all in, right? They certainly can do that. Look at that poll. It's still just by 2% more. I like, no, don't tell people to do it. Don't tell people to do it. For those of you that might be just tuning in or like, why is this poll up there? I was at the beginning of the show today. You'll have to go back and watch it. I was talking about how I started on YouTube, at least doing this kind of thing, right? I've had the channel for a long time, but I was talking about how it never dawned on me to ask people to subscribe to me. And I still haven't done it. I've never done it. And in the beginning, it was, I think, naivety and ignorance. I just didn't think of it because I wasn't doing it for that. But now it's kind of like, I feel like, well, I can't start. It's been 4 years. I can't start now. You know what I mean? But maybe if I did, it would, you know, I'd have more subs, right? But nonetheless, so that's what the poll is about there. But no, some people are like, no, don't do it. Don't break the streak. Keep going. All right, let me see here. Let me scroll down, scrolling. Keep that scrolling going. Oh, we got a couple of generous super chats here. Thank you very much. Troy Grubb sends in $19.99. Thank you, Troy. Appreciate that. Says, congratulations on 25K. As you would say, cheers. Cheers to you too, Troy. Wish they had a chocolate milk emoji. Have a great day. Have a great day, Dave, buddy. Thank you very much, Troy. Yeah, for those of you that may not know what he means, I'm a big fan of chocolate milk. I, like, still to this day as a 42-year-old man, when we're in, it's actually what's so funny about it is, I can't remember if this was the last time. No, I think it was, I stand to be corrected, but this has happened more than once. I think when myself and Bruce, when we first went out to dinner with Shelby, Malika, and Victoria, the three actors that were in It's Me, Billy, we first met them in person in September of 2020. We all went out to dinner. And I think I had excused myself to go to the bathroom. And when I came back, the waitress had already been to the table, and everybody had ordered their drinks, and Bruce had ordered me a chocolate milk. And I was like, he's just like, well, I knew you were going to order one anyway. And I'm like, oh yeah, it's true. And of course, you know, the girls are like, oh, that's so sweet. You know, it's like, I know. I like chocolate milk. What can I say? I like chocolate milk. I had one just the other day. I was out with my girlfriend and I picked one up. So yeah, I'm a big fan of chocolate milk. Corey Novak sends in $19.99. Thank you, Corey. Says, congrats, Dave. Thank you very much. Why don't you just put that schooling into use and make a few filmography 101 videos? Teach us what a director really does. Teach us what atmosphere really is, etc. Love the channel. Thank you, Corey. Appreciate that. Well, in order for me to teach a 101, I guess I could teach a 101. I would have to brush up on a few things because obviously the industry has changed a lot since I was in film school. I mean, the fundamental principles of filmmaking are still the same, and the stages of filmmaking and the process of filmmaking is the same. It's still the same. But when I was in film school, I was editing on a Steinbeck. Okay. And for those of you that don't know, that's where you actually have your 16 millimeter film and you're actually physically cutting the film and taping it together like old school, right? Well, now I doubt there's even one in a film school anywhere. I mean, maybe in the archives collecting dust in the basin or something. I have no idea because everything's digital now, right? And digital was just starting to make its way into the mainstream, but we were still shooting on film because one of my short film that year that we shot was on 16 mil. So I'd have to brush up on a few things and to be able to do that, because I wouldn't want to look like an idiot and make a mistake. But certainly I could do that. I could teach you the fundamentals of the different jobs and the process and all that kind of stuff. Maybe I should do that with Bruce. That might be kind of fun to tackle that together. That might be kind of fun. Because obviously, he knows his shit too. Having gone to film school as well, and working in the film industry currently. So maybe we'll do that. We'll see. And what atmosphere is, well, I mean, atmosphere essentially is, or like, unless you mean how to create good atmosphere. I mean, atmosphere is just essentially it's the aesthetic of a scene that helps to create the mood, which of course creates a feeling. You know what I mean? So, and you can have great atmosphere. Atmosphere isn't just nighttime, and eerie and creepy. Atmosphere can be happy and feel joy. You know what I mean? You can have that kind of atmosphere. I mean, generally speaking, when people say, or when I say mood and atmosphere, I'm always talking about it from the woo kind of sense, right? Naturally, I'm a horror guy. But you can have atmosphere convey many different types of moods. But yeah, no, it's not a bad idea. It's not a bad idea. I'll give it some thought. Joe Smyjohn Jr. says, sends in $2. Thank you. Says, you can watch it through the NBC and Sci-Fi apps. Well, that all depends if they work in Canada. Although I do have a VPN, so maybe I'll be able to do that. Because sometimes, like, I've been to certain pages without a VPN, and this isn't available in your country. I mean, how many times have we seen that, right? Well, you guys probably don't see that in the States, but if you live in Canada and the UK, you see that quite a bit, especially when you're trying to access US content. Connor, I don't have my glasses. Fuck! Burley, I think is what it is. Brierly, maybe. I'm trying to squint. Is that an R? I think it's an RI. Sends in £5. Thank you very much, buddy. Congratulations, Dave, on 25K. Thank you, Connor. I really appreciate that, man. Thank you so much. You rock, buddy. Let's see here. Lone Wolf Media sends in $1.99. Says, do you ever think there will be a slasher verse? No. I mean, maybe, but that's a lot of money. There's going to have to be a lot of studios to have to agree to that, and a lot of money and a lot of dick measuring. So I'm going to say not anytime soon, but one never knows. Let me see here. Let's scroll back. And the poll is still at 51% to 49%. Crazy. You guys are crazy. Ryan Smith says, Dave, have you seen the article going about saying that Michael Myers is homophobic because he killed Big John, Little John? Yeah, I did see something like that. I skimmed over the article, to be honest with you. I didn't really read it top to bottom. I was under the impression that it's satire, that it's not meant to be taken seriously. Like it's written in a way that could be taken seriously. But I skimmed over it and I thought, oh no, they're just, fucking around. Like they're kind of going to the extreme to make a point, like he's not, you know what I mean? However, if it is a legit article and the author of the article is being dead serious, then this is just one of the issues that if I really wanted to tell you, if I took the time to tell you how I really feel about a lot of this nonsense that's going on in the world right now, I would probably have to cancel myself before somebody canceled me. Let's just put it that way. There's nuance is dead, context is dead, intent is dead. And like I always say, I don't think, intent or context should be used as an excuse, a default, but to just paint everything black and white nowadays, no pun intended with a lot of the race things that we have. But I mean, just like, getting rid of all this is just, it's causing so many problems. Twitter's not real. Get the hell off of it. Stop fighting and arguing. It's so lame, but that's, I didn't grow up with it, right? So I'm that old man, get off my lawn kind of thing, even though I'm just, in my 40s. So yeah, I just think it's nonsense. If the person is being serious, then I like, it's just it's a very unfortunate, unnecessary, like I'm at a loss for words for some of the stuff that's happening in the world now, and some of the stuff that we are just supposed to accept. You know, I'm at a loss for words. You know, and there's so many things that many of us, I'm sure many of us in the chat would love to say. You know, and like, I mean, real things, real, genuine things, real, you know, I don't mean, you know, negative things in terms of like being homophobic or racist or, you know, misogynistic, but have real questions and real good arguments and stuff. But we can't, you know, because we'll be labeled this, that, and the other. And it's like, this is nonsense. We're not going to survive. I mean, we'll survive, but the world will be, you know, there's part of me that used to say, I feel sorry for the kids that are being born right now, but they're not going to know any different. They're going to grow up in a world where all of this already exists. So it's going to be normal to them. You know what I mean? It's not like you don't know what you're missing if you've never had it. You know what I mean? It just is. It is what it is. So, you know, like for people like us, you know, and if you're my age and older, you remember when this didn't exist and stuff. But if you're a baby being born now, well, by the time you're like 20 or 25, that's still 25 years from now. It's just like the world we grew up in the 80s and 90s, just like will seem like the 1700s to us right now. You know, it just it's not even relevant anymore. Anyway, it's just nonsense stuff. It's nonsensical stuff. I saw it as satire, but maybe that's because I was hoping it was satire, because I was like, oh, that's cute. I see what you're doing there. I see what you're doing. That's cute. That's cute. But if the author's like, no, I'm serious. It's like, oh, you're serious. Okay, well, I'm out. Like, I'm out. I got to go or I'm going to cancel myself. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's just ridiculous stuff. That's how I feel about it. And hopefully people can read between the lines. Man, oh man. So let me see here. Lone Wolf. No, I got that. I don't think I missed any other super chats, did I? No, I didn't. Okay, good. Helen Park. I haven't seen that name before. In your opinion, who do you think is the most dangerous Michael Myers? Ooh, I don't know. The most dangerous. What are we measuring, right? The most brutal? The most sneaky? I'm going to say Nick Castle. And I'm going to say Nick Castle's, and maybe even Dick Warlock in there, because they're sneaky, right? They're predators. They stalk. You know, they're sneaky. They're there, not there. They're kind of in the background and stuff like that. You know, Tyler Mane, you can kind of hear coming. You know, you might have a fighting chance. I mean, if he gets a hold of you, you're done. You're done because he's 6'8" and probably 230 pounds. I mean, you're done. You're done. But he's like an elephant or a bull in a china shop, right? So, but with Nick Castle and Dick Warlock, who was playing, you know, the original shape, they're a little sneaky. They're a little slippery, like a cat. You know, they're limber. You know, ding, 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 ding. You know what I mean? It's like, where are they? What's going on? You know what I mean? And then all of a sudden your cat's on your bed and you're like, ah, fuck, Jesus, I didn't even hear you come into the bedroom. What's going on? That's Nick Castle and Dick Warlock. So I'm going to say them. G-Watch. Oh no, where'd you go, G-Watch? I thought I had you. Where are you here, G? Oh, wait. G-Watch. Dave, what are your favorite satanic, that's what it is, satanic panic occult films in the 1970s? I don't know. I mean, I haven't watched too many, to be honest with you. I mean, certainly, yeah, I guess you'd include The Omen and The Exorcist and the Amityville Horror in there. I don't really consider them satanic, but I do understand what you're saying. Yeah, I haven't watched a whole lot. I mean, certainly The Exorcist. I adore The Exorcist. And I like the first Omen as well. I'm not a fan of the sequels. And the first Amityville I like. I mean, I'm going to go with those three. I mean, if you're going to put those on your list, and I see why you're putting them there, I will go with those three. I mean, the Amityville Horror, actually, I quite enjoy. The first one. It's a good movie. A good 70s, late 70s, you know, haunted house kind of film. I really enjoy that. Oh, Cody Buchanan says, Dave, you missed my super chat. Oh, I missed your super chat, Cody. God fucking damn it. Did I really? Let's go back here. Let's go back. Where are you, Cody? I'm going back. 1 second, Code. Code. Do people ever call you Code? It's all right, Code. There we go. Cody Buchanan sends in $5. Thank you, Cody. Says, that's when I started to follow you, year 2017. Really? You're an OG. Cody Buchanan is an OG, ladies and gentlemen. It's great to have you here. When you started to talk about Halloween 2018, I learned a lot with your takes on movies, so thank you. Well, thank you very much. Yeah, that's really cool, man. That's really cool. It is always cool when people reach out to me and say that. And, you know, I will say this again. I've said it before, but I'll say it again, that you know, if you don't hear from me, if you try to message me privately, whether it's on Instagram or Facebook, and you don't hear back from me, always remember it's never personal. I never realized that I would be getting the amount of messages that I do. Now, I don't get nearly as many as I used to, but I still average probably over 10 a day. Like, I swear to God, between the three, or between Instagram and Facebook, probably about 10 a day, you know, and so it's still, you know, I can't respond to everybody because sometimes things are really long, sometimes they're really short. To improve your chances of me responding, always just make it kind of short and to the point, because there's just so many. So always know it's never personal, but it's always really cool to hear this, and I sincerely mean that. It's you know, you know, one of the things that I don't profess to know everything, obviously, but certainly I always try to kind of go into my back pocket or into my Rolodex of info that I've learned over the years, and having worked in the business in the capacity that I have, and you know. When I say that, because sometimes I think people might get the impression that when I say that that I've worked in the business, or that, you know, that I'm somehow saying that I'm like Steven Spielberg or something. That's not why I say that. I don't say it in a braggadocious way. I don't say that to imply that I'm signing a contract with, you know, Universal and I'm going to be working alongside Christopher Nolan. That's not why I say that, right? I say that ironically, so people know, new people that are coming know that the info I'm about to tell you is coming from a place of an informed, you know, a place of being informed on a certain topic. So you know that I'm not just pulling it out of my ass, right? Because there's a lot of people that talk out of their ass, you know, and most of the time when you talk out of your ass, you're usually incorrect because you're trying to create the illusion that you know more than you really do, or, you know, what have you. I don't claim to know everything. But those of you that do work in the entertainment industry, like myself, and because there are some people that do that watch me, you know that, I mean, or like anything, like any business or line of work that you're in, the longer you're in that line of work, the more people you meet, and the many different kinds of people that you meet, right? I mean, I've spent 20 years in the entertainment industry as a professional voice actor, and I work at the highest levels of VO. And so, you know, having been doing that for as long as I have, you know, I've met all sorts of directors and writers and actors and casting directors and producers, and because there's a lot of overlap when it comes to, you know, film and VO, and, you know, the entertainment industry is a small industry, but it's a big industry too, or it's a big industry, but it's a small industry too, right? And that includes, like, you know, everything from actors to writers, directors, singers, studio executives, producers, casting directors, talent agents, managers. I mean, you know, it's a big industry, but it's also small too, right? Yeah, when you're in it long enough, you meet all different kinds of people, and you learn a lot of different things from many different kinds of people, and you know, it's just that's why. That's why it's so important to. I was just thinking, where was I going with this? But then I looked at the question, I'm like, oh yeah, that's where I was going with this. So it's always cool to be able to go into my back pocket and pull out info that I've learned over the years and be able to share that with you. And that doesn't mean I'm going to be 100% right all the time, but I always try to, you know, when I look at something, I'm like, hey, how can I approach this that maybe brings a bit of a different perspective, right? Because like I said at the beginning of the show, most people know me as a YouTuber, just the YouTuber, but I'm not gonna say very few, but some people forget or maybe not know that I actually do work in the entertainment industry. And so this is not my job. So I've always wanted to kind of, instead of just talking about movies, I'm like, how can I make it different? And sometimes there's shit I don't know anything about. I'm just like, I have no idea about that. So I'm not even going to talk about that. But then if there's something I'm like, oh, I know something about that because I've actually done that, or I've actually been on that and I know what that's about. I'm going to talk about that and I'm going to tell them that, you know what I mean? So, but I do know there are some people, because I've seen it in the comment section and stuff, that think that I say that in like a braggadocious way. That's not why I'm saying it. Ironically, I'm saying it for the opposite effect. So you know that I'm not trying to put one over on you or something like that. But I don't claim to know it all. I just have 20 years of experience working in the business and having met all different kinds of people. And those of you who work in the business know that when you're in it long enough, you meet all different kinds of people. There's a lot of overlap with a lot of these jobs, whether it's voiceover, singing, dancing, acting, writing, producing. I mean, there's a lot of, you meet a lot of people and you get an opportunity to do a lot of things. So thank you for saying that. And it's always really cool to be able to share that with you. And if somebody finds value in it, that's even better. That's even better. That's really cool. But I don't profess to know it all, guys. I'm not, when I say that, I'm not saying, oh, I'm Christopher Nolan. That's not what I'm saying. It's not what I'm saying at all. It's not what I'm saying at all. All right. Oh, are these? Oh, no, these are new. These are new. Well, that was weird. The way it shifted on me was really, really weird. Okay, these are new. Go Grand Guru sends in $4.99, says, hey, Dave, if you were given the project to conclude Halloween Ends with full creative control, what would you do? Will you make a video of this too? Probably not. But full creative. I don't know. I don't know. I really haven't given it much thought yet. I'm not going to say, I'm not going to say never. There's still a year till the movie comes out. So maybe I might, but not this week or not next week or something. But that's not a bad idea. That's not a bad idea. I don't know what I would do. I haven't given it much thought. So I would rather say, I'm not sure if I'll do that video, and I'll save my thoughts for the video if and when I do it. Cause it's a lot to dive into, I'm not really sure. I do know that, yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure. It's such a good question though. Full creative control, that's a lot. That's a lot, man. Well, a lot of mood and atmosphere and a lot of lurking and stalking. I can tell you that. Brandon Barry sends in $4.99, says, congrats, Dave, on 25,000. Thank you very much, Brandon. Once COVID gets better in the world, have you ever thought of doing a McRae live in person? A McRae live in person? Like what? Like renting out a hotel and seeing if anybody shows up? I'm not sure what you mean by that. A McRae live in person? You mean, I don't think people would show up. I'm not quite sure I understand what you mean. I understand what you mean, but where you mean, like rent a motel, that sounds very seedy. Rent a hotel and then, rent a hotel and then, like sell tickets or something and see if anybody shows up. Maybe Bruce will show up. Yeah, just at me and kind of expand on that a bit. I'm not quite sure what you mean by that. Troy Grubb sends in, oh no, I got that. I got the Troy one, right? I got that one. Oh, so I did miss those. Fascinating. Okay, I got those two. Got that one. Scrolling down. Got that one. Got the Lone Wolf one. I think that's the last one. No. Here it is. We're here. Southpaw 82 sends in $5, says, Dave, who has the final say in the release of a film? The director shoots a few different versions, but usually the worst version is released. Why? Usually the worst version is released. Why? The final say, generally speaking, would come down to the distributor, like down to the studio. But again, there's a lot of variables, right? Like it depends on, you know, how much sway. Like for me, if I was to shoot a movie for a major studio, I'm not going to have a lot of say. Okay. You know, they're going to be like, yeah, we don't really care because I don't have seniority. Right. So I'm not, you know, but Nolan, Spielberg, Denis Villeneuve, Martin Scorsese, you know, they probably have at the end of the day, you know, and that might actually be negotiated long before then too, right? They might negotiate that final say or final cut as they call it. But it would be it depends on the level of film you're working on. It would either be the production company and or the studio that would have that sort of say, not the director, generally speaking. However, if you're somebody that's quite hot, I don't mean sexy, I mean quite in demand, quite prestigious, then you probably it might even be built into your contract, you know, that you get final cut. It's probably a good thing to do that. But yeah, generally that's again, there's a lot of variables that can kind of change that around a bit, a lot of things that can kind of come in and out, but generally that's what it is. And that's why you'll sometimes see later on in life, a director's cut release. Like this is what I wanted to do, but the studio wouldn't let me do it. So it's the studio at the end of the day. It would be them. No. Go Grand Guru says, you missed mine too. I just want to know your ideas. Yes, I went back and I got that. Okay. Thank you very much for that. Appreciate that very much. It's great to see Darren here. Darren's telling everybody to hit the like. Yeah, folks, we have 200 people in here. Smash that like button. There. Is that how you're supposed to say it? Smash that like button and hit that notification bell for... I still haven't passed, but the poll is at 50-50. The poll is at 50-50. Woo! I'm glad it actually is that close because it makes it a lot more interesting. Zari, Horror Talk says, Dave, did you notice Michael in the 78 flashback choked the cop with the rope? What are you saying? Oh, you mean, I thought that was some sort of weird kind of, no, I know what you mean. Choked the cop with the rope he stole from the hardware store in Halloween Kills. I did notice that. Yes, I did. I did notice that. Very cool indeed. Very cool indeed. Mike Johnson says, did you enjoy Kills more than H18, Dave, even if you thought H18 was better? I enjoyed, okay, well, this is the thing. I've only seen Halloween Kills 3 times. I've seen Halloween 18, not much more. With Halloween Kills for me, again, the first time I saw it, I had fun. I enjoyed watching the movie better than the first time. Like, what we're measuring here is my first time watching Kills and my first time watching Halloween 18. My first time watching Halloween 18, I was very disappointed. My first time watching Halloween Kills, I had a lot of fun. So I enjoyed my first time watching, actually, I think I went back to 4. I think I was supposed to be the other way around. Anyway, I enjoyed my first time watching Kills better than I did 18. However, on my 2 subsequent watches of Halloween Kills, I've liked it less and less. When I say like, I mean, I've enjoyed it less and less because I don't really like the movie. You know, I like aspects of the movie. You know what I mean? Like, I like that they did that. I like that. I like the flashback. They did a really good job there. But the movie largely falls apart for me right in the middle. It just does. It just, you know, and I haven't watched it a 4th time yet, but for me, it just does. Whereas 18, although Halloween 18, there's that moment with Sartain where it was like, but as quickly as it happens, they get themselves back on track. And it's like, oh, okay, so it still kind of feels like a bit of a dip and a speed bump kind of thing where it's like, oh, okay, it's kind of whatever. But Halloween 18 is just a better movie overall. You know, I mean, all those things that I don't like about 18 are still relevant. I still don't like those things. But overall, it's just a better movie. It's better paced. It's got a better script. Structurally, it's better. It's just better from beginning to end. So I've actually enjoyed watching H18 more on subsequent watches. So it's actually the reverse that's happened. I don't know yet where I would place Kills in a ranking in the franchise because it depends on what we're measuring. I certainly don't think it's the worst movie. I don't. There's a lot to like there and a lot to enjoy. But I don't think I think it's a step down. I think 18, I think they've gone down. But we'll see what happens with Ends. We'll see what happens, with Ends. And it's unfortunate. It is unfortunate. It's that middle chunk. It's that hospital stuff. And like, basically, I agree with everybody that has said after the flashback, it kind of goes like this, and it's unfortunate because there was a lot of potential there, but that's my opinion, of course. All right. Did Brandon Berry at me? Did you at me, buddy? Let's see here. There he is. At a bar or venue. At a bar or venue. Now I can't remember what your question was. At a bar or venue. Okay, right. Well, I wouldn't do it here in Canada because according to my analytics, ironically, although I am Canadian and I live here in Toronto and I do my YouTube channel here in Toronto, from Toronto, ironically, I don't, only about 4.5% of my viewership every month are from people in Canada. And that's not necessarily in my neck of the woods. I mean, that could be in Vancouver, it could be in Newfoundland, it can be, out of that 4.5%, how many of them are in my area? Maybe nobody, right? And I know that might seem strange, but over 70% are US viewers. So that's probably why when I was in LA a few years ago, I was walking through this happened twice. I've told this before, but I still think it's hilarious because as a voice actor, which is where I've spent most of my professional career, there's a certain level of anonymity that comes with being a voice actor, right? You're behind a microphone. You've probably heard my voice 1,000 times, but you never would have known it, right? Because you wouldn't have known what my face looks like. You're not seeing my face with my voice, right? So I like that. I actually like that. So the YouTube things have been kind of strange in that regard because when I was at the Halloween convention, of course it's a Halloween convention, so what do you expect? But I had like 50 people come up to me, shout out to those that I'm talking about. You guys are amazing. Everybody that came up to me was so nice, and it was really awesome. But it was a surreal, weird experience for me because I'm not used to people recognizing my face. So it was very strange. And I think it was Cecil Laird, who I met there, who said, you should just get like a table or something. And obviously he's kidding, but it was funny because I had like a lineup just like out on the floor. People wanting to meet. It was strange. It was very weird. But kind of cool to meet people that watch my channel. It was a very surreal, weird experience that I'm not used to. But it's a Halloween convention, so it's kind of like you put Dave. I mean, you put anybody. You put Cody Leach. You put Drum Dums. The guys. You put us in a Halloween convention. Well, what's going to happen, right? I mean, come on. But it was my first time, so it was a little strange. Having said that, a couple of days later, I'm walking through a parking lot in Burbank. Okay, I'm just walking through a parking lot. My girlfriend and I are walking through a parking lot on our way to Wendy's. We're in a fucking parking lot. We're just in a parking lot. And I hear off behind me, Dave McRae. And I'm like, what? And I look over, it's just some guy. He's like, hey man, what's going on? I watch you all the time, whatever. And I'm like, he's a very nice guy. But I'm like, okay, I'm not like, I'm just in a parking lot now at 6:30 in the evening in Burbank. Like this is just very weird. And then the other time it happened to me was maybe I don't know if this was a few days before or a few days after. My girlfriend and I had gone down to, I forget what the building's called. There's a building in LA and it's downtown Los Angeles and they shot a bit of Blade Runner there. I forget the name of the building. Maybe somebody in the chat knows, but it's, what's funny is we wanted to go and check out, filming locations, right? You're in Hollywood, you're in LA. That's what you do. It wasn't our first time there, of course, but there's a lot of places you can go and see. So we took the subway we were staying in Hollywood. I got something in my eye. We were staying in Hollywood. So we went to Hollywood and Highland or Highland or whatever it is, to get the subway. And we took the subway downtown LA. You know, I mean, it's not like I'm wearing something that says I'm Dave McRae or, you know, can you imagine? Fucking arrogant prick. So I'm just dressed in shorts and a t-shirt, right? And we went to this building. I don't know, I forget the name of the building. Anyway, like I said, they shot Blade Runner there. Not Blade Runner 2049, the original one with Harrison Ford. So we went in there and we could go in. It's just really cool, like these stairs and shit that are there. So I'm up top. My girlfriend is down below taking some photos. And I'm up on kind of this landing on these stairs. And I'm taking photos. And there's this security guard that's down below that says, excuse me. And I'm like, yes. He's like, can you come down here for a second, please? And I'm like, oh, fuck. I'm in an area where I'm not supposed to be, you know? And I'm thinking, oh, you know, I'm Canadian. I'm not even an American citizen. They're going to arrest me. They're going to deport me. This is it. It's over. You know, I'm not thinking that. But I was like, oh, shit. Like, I guess I'm in an area where I'm not supposed to be. So I come down the stairs. True story. I come down the stairs and I'm walking towards him. And then his sort of like his, you know, excuse me, turns to kind of a smile. And he's like, Dave McRae? And I'm like, yeah. And he's like, hey, dude, I watch you all the time. What's going on? And we shot the shit for like 10 minutes. We had a photo taken together and I still have the photos. I wonder if I could bring that. I wonder if I could bring it up. Anyway, it's not important. But he was a really nice guy. Really nice guy. So I forget your name, buddy, but shout out to you. The Bradbury Building. That is it. That is it. Evil Alex, Mark Williams. That's it. That's got to be it. That's got to be it. Let me just hang on. I'm going to put that into Google here. That's got to be it. A bunch of you probably Googled that. No, I'm kidding. You probably already knew that. Yes, that's it. That's it. That's it. That's it, guys. Thank you so much. Actually, you know what's funny? There's a picture on Google Images of the security guy. I think that's him. I think that's him. That's so funny. It's a high shot, and there's this guy that looks like a security guard. I didn't take this photo. It's just on Google Images. I think that's him. That's so funny. That's so funny. Anyways, yes, the Bradbury Building. So it was just so weird. Like, and again, this is not at the Halloween convention. This is not at the Myers house. Like when I went to the Myers house in Pasadena, there were a few people that recognized me there. They were like, oh, Dave McRae, you know, whatever. But I'm standing in front of the Myers house. You know what I mean? It kind of, you know, serves itself, right? I mean, you know, but to be in a parking lot in Burbank going to a Wendy's and to be at the Bradbury Building downtown LA, I've never, not once in my entire life, had anybody recognize me here in Toronto or Canada. Never, ever. Even since doing YouTube. But only 4% of my viewers are Canadian, right? If it was reversed, I might be afraid to go out my door. Anyways, it's a weird experience. And anybody who's on YouTube who has a bit of a following, like I'm sure Cody Leach or certainly the guys from Wham, Drum Dums, Jimmy Champagne, I'm sure they all can relate. I mean, they live in the States and all their viewers are probably from the States. So it probably happens to them on the semi-regular, I would imagine, especially if they're in areas where that opportunity exists. So it's a very strange experience, especially for the voice actor who's used to the anonymity of just kind of doing my thing, putting my voice out of there, and then going home and putting my feet up and watching a movie. You know, it's very weird. It's very weird. Darren says, it could have been worse. You could have stood at a urinal. Could you imagine? Oh my God. Could you imagine? That would have been worse. That would have been worse. I wonder, it's not plugged in. Hang on a sec. I want to see if I can, because he was such a nice guy. I'm just plugging in my other drive because I was kind of hoping to show that photo of him. He was such a nice guy, such a sweet guy. I gave him a shout out too. Just give me a sec. Let me see if I can find it because I think it would be on this drive if I'm not mistaken. It was from, so it's probably here in this here. I have like folders, right, where I mark the dates, and it was from 2018. So this is 2018. This is our trip to LA. Bradbury Building. There we are on the beach. There we are looking at Don Knotts' grave. There are the Voice Arts Awards, so it's got to be before that. Maybe it was one. There we are at Spawn Ranch. That was creepy. Oh, okay. Wait a minute. Wait. Come on. It's got to be here somewhere. Oh yeah, that's us looking at that. I think it was one of our first things we did. Oh, yeah, here we are. I got him. Perfect. Okay. Hang on a sec. Let me just see if I can find a... Oh, what's going on here? Why are you not opening up? Oh, there we are. Okay. Let's see if I can find this. Hang on a sec here. Just give me a second here. I'm trying to get those questions in. Get those questions in. Hang on a sec. I just have to... It's not opening up for me for some strange reason. I don't know why it's not opening up for me, but it's not opening up for me. Just give me a second here. I'm trying to open it up. Okay, one sec. I don't know why. I don't know if you heard that. It went blum, 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 like boom, and the picture wouldn't open for some reason. So just give me 1 second because I want to see if I can... Okay. I'm just trying to... That's not working. Why is that not working, I wonder? It's not working. Okay. Sorry, I'm just trying to move this over to another folder to see if that helps. Hang on a sec. Yes, okay. This is going to work. I don't know why. It wouldn't let me access it from that folder for some strange reason. I don't know why. But anyway, okay, sorry about that, guys. My apologies. I know this is live. Let me get this in here. So let me do this and get this and then do this. I know this is probably like, Dave, we don't really need to. It's cool though. I want to give him a shout out. I forget his name. I put it in my desktop and you are right here. Here we go. Okay. Can you guys see that all right? Oh, wait a minute. Okay. Oh, here he is. I forget your name, sir. But shout out to you. You were so friendly and so nice, and you had scared the shit out of me in thinking that you were going to arrest me and have me in shackles and handcuffs and tossed into the back of a LA police car and shipped to the airport and shipped back to Canada. But nonetheless, I forget your name, man. I don't know if you still watch me, but if you do, shout out to you. I hope you are doing well. Anyway, that's the Bradbury building there behind us, and that's the security guard that was like, Dave McRae, are you? Fucking weird, man. I'm telling you. Strange. Anyway, on with the show. This is it. All right. I just like to talk about those things. It's kind of cool, you know? It's cool shit, man. It's cool stuff. All right, I'm going back here. Got the Guru one. Let's see. Cody Snyder says Dave's comparing himself to Christopher Nolan. Yeah, can you imagine? Excuse me. Dave, what's wrong? Nothing. Why? I don't know. I just thought maybe there might have been. Yeah, Darren says, what the hell? You could rent out a phone booth, Dave. Yes. It's true. Maybe I will. Philip Kruger says, if I'd be in the US, I'd come to live to a live person event. Yeah, well, I mean, yeah. No, I would rather, if I was going to meet people, I would rather do it. You know, it'd be really cool. And others in our space have often thought about it is, of course, I'm like, you know, the oddball out. I mean, one of the reasons why Dylan's New Nightmare has been, I mean, yes, COVID plays a big part, but certainly I'm the one that's out of country, right? And, you know, the borders being closed and all that kind of stuff, it's been very hard. That's one of the reasons for the delay. So it's always easier if you live in the US, and there's so many conventions. Like, we don't have nearly as many conventions here in Canada as you guys have in the US. I mean, you have everything from the big ones like Comic-Con, which we have here too. Like, we have Fan Expo in Toronto, and it's one of the biggest in North America. It gets like 150,000 people over 3 days. It's one of the biggest. And there are some smaller ones, but not at the level that you guys have in the States. I mean, you have, like, it's like every fucking week there's some sort of convention going on. You know what I mean? Right from like small to local to, I don't know. It's crazy. We don't have that many. I mean, we have some, but not like that. Like every week there's something, you know, it's Dragon Con, Monster Con, Blood Con, you know, Ripper Con, Gurgle Con, you know, Knife Con, Wound Con. You know, Slasher Con, you know, and then it's like the slasher in the Slasher Con, you know, and it's like, holy Jesus, how many cons can you possibly, like, it's like the market is saturated. Everybody wants to get into the con game, you know, it's crazy. But I know that some others in our space have talked about doing how cool would it be, whether at a Halloween convention, like at an anniversary, like, you know, the 45th or just a regular con, like a horror con. It would be to have like a Halloween panel with all the Halloween, you know, YouTubers, right? You know what I mean? So whether that's, you know, Lee or and Wham and me and Jimmy and, you know, all that, you know, and all that kind of stuff. That would be kind of cool. Of course, there's Wolfman's got Nards too, but he's over in the UK, so that's hard for him too, right? I mean, I can only imagine. I mean, it's easier for me to get to the States than it is for him. So there's that aspect there too, right? We've tossed that around, that might be kind of fun, but you got to get everybody together to do that, you know, and there have been a couple of cons, actually, believe it or not. True story. There's been a couple of cons that have reached out to me over the years. I'd say over the last couple of years, that have asked me if I wanted to attend as a guest. In the States, not here, of course. Remember, 4.5% of my viewers are Canadian. In the States, and they're usually small, local, kind of on the smaller side. And I had to turn it. I've turned it down twice, both times, because the first time was I couldn't attend because I was busy. The second time I couldn't because the border was closed. It was kind of cool. Like there were a couple of Halloween alum that were going to be there from Rob Zombie's films and things like that. But I just thought it was very strange that this guy was like asking me, and I'm like, me? You want me to go? Who the fuck wants to meet me? And I don't say that in a sort of a reverse psychology way. I say that in the sense that I don't see myself like that, you know. Working in this business, I never got into the business to be famous or to, you know, make lots of money or whatever it is. I truly am passionate about the work, you know. I always feel kind of strange if I have to talk about myself or like, I mean, in a like a con way, you know what I mean? And stuff. It's kind of like, nah, I'm just doing this, man. I'm just doing it because I love doing it, you know? But, yeah, a phone booth. That'd be funny. Let me scroll down. Scrolling. Go Grand Guru sends in $19.99. Thanks, buddy. Says, hear me out. Your least favorite Halloween movie. You're given the opportunity to completely scrap and make a new one. Don't worry about polishing the turd. You can burn it and create. Which movie and what would you do differently? Well, again, it's going to be hard for me to go into detail of what I would do differently, but I think what I would probably do, my least favorite Halloween movie, well, it's not my least favorite Halloween movie, but I think what I would do is, no, actually, that's not true. That's actually, you know what? There's a McRae live on my channel. I know you've asked the question. There's a McRae live on my channel where I talk about what I would do with Halloween 5. And I think Halloween 5 is probably my least favorite Halloween movie. That and Halloween Resurrection is probably my least favorite. It's up there. So I think it's fair to choose that one. And I would probably, and what I would do differently is actually on a McRae live episode. And essentially, I mean, I can't remember everything, but essentially it has to do with, you know, not killing off Rachel, utilizing Rachel, and like they have a relationship there, right? So, you know, I want to nurture that relationship and watch that relationship continue to flourish. And so I don't kill off Rachel, but Jamie is in a psychiatric ward because of what happened at the end of 4. Michael Myers is gone for now, and Halloween is coming around again, and weird and unusual things begin to happen. And one night, Rachel leaves the psychiatric ward and goes home and finds her parents murdered. And it's like, oh my God, because I believe Jamie's mom survived the scissor attack, if I'm not mistaken, right? I don't think Jamie killed her, right? But anyway, Rachel comes home and finds her parents murdered. It's like, what the fuck? And like really play, you know how I am, right? Mood, atmosphere, nuance, all that kind of stuff. Really playing into it, right? It's like, what the fuck? And she's freaking out and she calls Dr. Loomis because she's like, it's gotta be Michael. It's gotta be Michael. And you know, and he's like, oh my God, maybe it is him, you know, because he's freaking out. And he comes up to Haddonfield and they're like, Meeker, I'm telling you, right? And Meeker's, what are you talking about? We sees in the mines. So, you know, they go to the mine and it's like, oh my God. And then they start blaming, like they think it's, I forget if I said they think it could be, I think the town starts to blame Jamie, kind of like little bits and pieces that you saw of that in the actual 5, but I take it and really make it part of the story where the town now thinks that, oh my God, is it Michael? Is it a copycat? Is it somebody else? It's Michael, spoiler alert. But it's like, what's going on here, right? But we don't see Michael until maybe like halfway or 3/4 of the way through the movie, like really building up that suspense and that slow burn, but bodies are hitting the floor. Let the bodies hit the floor. Let the bodies hit the floor. You know, you're seeing the deaths and it's like, what's going on here? Who's responsible for this? And they're blaming Jamie being like cursed. Like, it's the cursed child. It's the cursed child. And you got people coming to the hospital wanting to fucking get in and kill the fucking kid. They want to kill the kid because they feel if they kill the kid, then this whole fucking thing. That's what I would do. Yeah, 100%. I would do that with Halloween 5. Somewhere in there. And then of course it all leads back to like people start to disappear in the psychiatric ward. Loomis and Rachel and Jamie are there. And then a storm rolls on in. The power goes out. Michael is at the psychiatric hospital looking for Jamie and he's going through the hospital doing that Michael thing. They're not there killing people. All the while they're trying to protect. And Loomis, you know, is on the hunt for Michael down the dark hallways with the security lighting blinking. He's got his gun out. He's going down the halls and shit, right? Where is he? Michael? What do you think of that, fuckers? What do you think of that? You want that for your Halloween 5? Oh, you know you do. Hey, I'm open. I'm ready. I'm ready to talk. I'm ready to talk. I'm ready to talk. Don't get too cozy, Dave. The Chosen One. Ooh, The Chosen One. I like that. Sends in £5. Sends in $5. £5. Thank you. Says, since watching you, I've been inspired to make my channel talking pop culture. Amazing, dude. That's so awesome. And now pursuing my dream of acting again after years. What camera you use? What camera do I use for my videos? This is just I have 2. This is just, they're both Logitechs. They're just webcams and just full HD webcams, not 4K, nothing crazy. The one you're watching me on is the Logitech C922, I think. And then the other one is the C920 or something like that. That's what it is. That's what it is. Assuming you mean the webcams, right? Yep. That's what I use. They're probably, I mean, Canadian. I think they were maybe $100 or something, maybe a bit less. Something like that. But listen, dude, congratulations. Seriously. It is, and I mean this, it is always very surreal and humbling when somebody says, you've inspired me to do, you know, X, or you've really helped me through a difficult time. And I'm not the only one. I know I'm not the only one that gets messages like that. I know the other guys in our space do too, because I've heard them talk about it and they've told me about it. And I never say, I always say I don't want to speak on behalf of anybody because I don't think it's the right thing to do. But I'm pretty sure I can speak on behalf of Cody Leach, Wham, Wolfman's Got Nards, you know, Champagne, everybody in our space. I'm pretty sure I can speak on everybody's behalf when I say it's surreal, it's cool, it's humbling, and it means a lot to know that what we're doing here is not only inspiring somebody to either do it themselves or to get back into something, but that it is truly, that it has sometimes helped you through a very, very difficult moment in your life. I know I can speak for everybody when I say that's amazing. And that truly means a lot because we don't do it for that. We're just doing our thing, you know? So that's really awesome, man. That's really awesome. Thank you for sharing that. Okay, Matthew Jensen sends in $5, says, hey, Dave, have you ever considered uploading two dudes and your streams as just audio on podcast platforms? I haven't, no. And I'll be honest with you, part of the reason is that I just don't care. I just can't be bothered to do that. It's not personal. It's just kind of like, nah, I'm just, it is what it is. It's YouTube. So no, I have, it's the same reason why I never uploaded any of my McRae lives as audio only or anything like that. It's just have no interest in doing it, I guess. Yeah. I mean, that really, I know that's a really sort of unromantic answer, but it is the truth. SF sends in €5 and says, much love from Ireland. Thank you so much, buddy. Appreciate that. If you could make one change to Halloween 118 or H Kills, what would it be? In Halloween 1, if I could make one change, well, off the top of my head, I would say that it would be when Michael is walking up behind Laurie after he sits up and does the head, turn. And as he gets closer to Laurie, we start to see a little bit of the high cheekbones, lower lids through the mask there. I would get rid of that. I'd change that. Just keep it all dark. In H18, what would I change? One thing? If you could change one thing. More suspense, more lurking, more, No, 18 did have some moments of that. The motion sensor scene is an example, but more of that, more of Michael's, or you know what? No, yes, definitely I would do that. But let me change my answer to I would change the closet scene to what I always think it should have been, right? Where Vicky walks over the closet and instead of trying to close it, she opens it to turn off the light, and the light is she either goes to open it to turn on the light and she turns it on and he's there. But I think what I would do is I would have her open it, it's off. She tries to turn it on. The light bulb is out. She turns to Julian, starts talking about, hey, where, do your parents keep your light bulbs, all that. And behind her in the closet, you see his mask slowly emerging from the darkness, as I like to say, right? I would have built up more of that tension and that suspense. So that's one thing I'd change in H18. And in H Kills, I would get rid of this subplot of this mental patient. I know why it's there. I know the social commentary that they're trying to convey, but it's just the middle part of this movie is where this movie fails. So I would say that's one thing I would change about Kills for sure. I would restructure that, and getting rid of that subplot would probably allow you then to focus on better character development. You know what I mean? And then, we could have more time with maybe some of these legacy characters and they don't really feel shoehorned in and like they're there to just die, So that's what I would change with Kills. Thank you. Stephen, Evania. I don't have my glasses on. EVAN. I'm trying to think of how the syllables are there. Again, it's that voice actor that comes. I read a lot of scripts, folks, and I see a lot of stuff, and I'm like, I'm often phonetically sounding things out that could go a couple of different ways. Anyway, he sends in $4.49 US. Thank you. Says, Dave, what is your interpretation monologue of Laurie's speech when Michael was killing the mob at the end of H Kills? I think it's pretty self-explanatory, really. I mean, I don't remember it off by heart, but I think it's just more of, listen, if Dr. Loomis was alive, those lines would go to him. It's just more fancy talk, as Sheriff Brackett would say, and just sort of, hammering home the point about how he is, the more he kills, the more he transcends. He's this, he's that. We have to be careful. No amount of physical punishment will kill him. And it's just more of that setting the stage for, telling you that he is more than just a man, but still a man, and it's just that fancy talk. I don't think I'd have to listen to it again. I'll be honest with you. I really forget most of it because the movie's new. And so I don't know how many times you've watched it. I've only watched the movie 3 times. I haven't watched it 48 times like some of you. So I don't really remember it. But I think from my memory, it's just really more to hammer home again, sort of reiterating and reminding you of the essence of what the shape is, in correlation, of course, with seeing him come back to life, not back to life, but, step back up and kick the shit out of everybody. And it's kind of like that juxtaposition there is, it's related. So, that's kind of how I felt about it. I wasn't overwhelmed or taken back that it was some really, big, deep thing. But Roland Kelly sends in $5. Hey, Roland, nice to see you, my man. Congrats, Dave. Have a great Halloween this year. Congrats to you as well. Congrats to you as well. And if you're looking for mask rehauling or Halloween Michael Myers mask, you get in contact with Roland Kelly. I'm just saying, he does a hell of a job. Ian Allen James sends in $4.99, says, thoughts on Prime Video repeatedly cutting royalties for indie films, and do you know of any good alternatives for distribution of indie projects? When did this, you know what? I'm not familiar with this, although I feel like I've heard this. That this isn't new, that I do feel like I've heard this. Thoughts on Prime Video repeatedly cutting royalties for indie films. Well, listen, I mean, obviously, anytime royalties are cut, it depends on what the details are. If they are illegally cutting royalties, like in the sense of you are owed this, this is part of the agreement we have. I don't know how Prime Video works in terms of its independent films that are distributed through Prime. I'm not sure how that works. I'd have to look into it. But knowing what I know already, I would say that there probably, I would imagine there would be some sort of agreement. I don't imagine it would be an arbitrary, sort of sliding scale. But I would say that if there is an agreement in place, like take the Scarlett Johansson thing, right? I mean, there was an agreement. She signed a contract. It doesn't matter if there's a pandemic. It doesn't matter what the situation is. You owe her that money. Now, you might be able to say, hey, listen, we don't have the money right now and we have to, you might be, but you have to pay her that. It's in the contract. It doesn't matter what you think, it's in the contract. I don't know if independent filmmakers and artists sign contracts for distribution to Prime Video, or how that, I would imagine they would. I mean, this is Amazon, it's Amazon Prime, right? You're talking about? I would think so. But I'm not sure how that works. So it would all depend. If they are owed a certain amount that they are not getting, well, that's bullshit. They're owed that. There's the agreement. There it is in the fine print. There it is in the writing. But if it is just a matter of, oh, fuck, they're now taking more, but they're allowed to take more, and that was the understanding when you signed up for it, well, hey, what are you going to do, right? I mean, yeah, it fucking sucks, and maybe they shouldn't be doing that, and that's bullshit, but they're not doing anything illegal. You know what I mean? Like, that was part of, like, did you read the fine print? Did you, you knew that the longer you're here, or that, we were going to do that, that we can do that, that. Do you know what I mean? I'm not sure sort of what the details of how that works with specifically what you're talking about. So I'd have to look into that. And do I know of any good alternatives for distribution for indie projects? I don't. Shudder is a good place. If you're doing horror, obviously, Shudder is good. So I'm not sure about others. There are definitely other streaming platforms. Yeah, but I'm not sure. Shudder, obviously, for horror. I even think Bloody Disgusting has their own something. They have their own something. It's not like Shudder, but there's something they have. I forget what it is. Obviously, Netflix, but I mean, that's the big thing. They would probably just buy you out. So I don't know. I'd have to look more into, I think I remember hearing something about this. And then I was like, oh, that's kind of, but that was a while ago, I think. Unless this is new. I'll have to, I got to know more information. I'm not up on it. But all I can say is that, are these people owed it? Right? as an actor, if I'm getting residuals, there's a certain amount that I'm owed. So it's like, well, you're owed. And if they try to cheap out on that, well, you can't, like, legally you can't do that. But if there's some sort of like, no, this is a sliding scale, we're going to give you this much here and then it's good, well, then that's what you signed up for, and that's just the reality. And maybe it is shitty. Maybe they shouldn't be doing that, but they're not doing anything illegal because that's what you signed up for, so maybe you shouldn't have signed up for it. I don't know. I don't know how Prime is handling that with their independent films. So I got to look more into it. I have to look more into it to be able to kind of answer it, more informed. I'm not informed in the ways that I want to be, specifically in what you're talking to as it relates to Prime Video. Michael Strong sends in £5 and says, big shout out to Darren and Frank from the Slaughtered Lamb. Awesome show. People hit that subscribe button. Yeah, people hit, I said that, but that wasn't me. Or do you mean at the Slaughtered Lamb? Yes, go over to the Slaughtered Lamb right now. Go over to the Slaughtered Lamb movie podcast. Darren, throw that link into the description and subscribe. They are approaching 1,000 subscribers. They're very close to it, and they themselves are having a Halloween watch-along this Sunday at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, watching Halloween 2018. Oh, but wait, there's more. That night at 8 o'clock p.m., a special Two Dudes and Some Bullshit presentation of Halloween Kills. So your Halloween, we've scheduled your Halloween for you. 3 p.m. you can hang out with Frank and Darren from the Slaughtered Lamb movie podcast watching Halloween 18, and then in a few hours later you can come on over here and watch Halloween Kills with Tony and I. Come on, man. And the best part, you don't have to pay for any of it. Amazing. Absolutely free. It's incredible. Let me see here. Did I miss one? I don't think I did. Did I? No. Brooke Flynn. Nice to see you. I haven't seen you in a while. Sends in $5. Says, hello, David. Hello, Brooke. Why do you think there's certain Halloween fans who pick apart 18 and kills like crazy, but defend like 5, 6, and H2O recency bias? Well, again, it depends on what we're measuring, right? For me, I can pick apart Halloween 5 and Halloween H2O or Halloween 6, but what am I picking apart, right? So when I look at something like Halloween 18, for example, now, I can't speak for anybody else, okay? I can only speak for me. When I say that Halloween 18 is not a very good Halloween movie, this is where I hope my audience instills some nuance, right? So what does Dave mean by that? Well, what's important to Dave? What's important to me as a Halloween purist? What's important to me, that I believe I need to see in a Halloween movie that is a direct sequel to the original, right? Well, suspense, stalking, lurking, right? The visual aesthetic in terms of more of that cool tone and vibe, right? More of Michael's MO, there, not there. Now, does that in and of itself make a good movie? Of course not. Of course not. You have to have other things too. I've always said that Halloween 18 is a very good, serviceable, modern day slasher movie. But because it largely was void, largely, not completely, largely void of all those other things that are very important to me that I think are not just, cool things. They are part of the overall, they are a character in and of itself, right? The look, the way it's shot, the aesthetic and Myers and how the lurking is arguably the most important character in the original Halloween. Do you know what I mean? So that's why, and all of that is void in any of the sequels. So that's why I can pick apart Halloween, or I can, wait, hang on, what was the question? Pick apart Halloween. So that's why for me, I can, like, that's me, right? I think for people who, I don't think I actually answered I know where I was going with that, but actually I think in going there, I didn't quite get on the track that I wanted to answer your question. So let me backtrack a little bit here. My apologies. Let me backtrack a little bit because it is valid in what I'm saying, but I know what you're saying as well. So let me backtrack and reassess, recalibrate. So why do I think some fans pick apart 18 and Kills like crazy, but defend movies like 5, 6, and H2O? Recency bias. I don't think that's just it. I think that's a part of it, but I don't think that's just it. I think defend movies like 5, 6, H2O. Okay, yeah, this is where, okay. I'm used to it being reversed. I'm used to people defending Kills and 18, but picking apart 5, 6, and H2O. That's how I'm used to the question being phrased to me. I'm not too familiar with those who are picking apart 18 and Kills, but defending 5, 6, and H2O. I haven't come across, that's why I was like, wait a minute, I need to recalibrate here. I don't think I'm understanding the question. I'm not reading the question correctly. I haven't come across too many people that have picked apart 18 and Kills, but defended 5, 6, and H2O. I mean, certainly, I'm not defending 5, 6, and H2O. So I would be like sort of just kind of consistent across the board. Fascinating. In that sense, recency bias may be part of it. Nostalgia plays a huge role as well. But look at what I will say this, look at what they're picking apart. Right? So one of the big things that people hate about the sequels, 5, 6, H2O, Resurrection, whatever. One of those things is Michael Myers, right? It's Michael Myers, right? Well, what is one of the things that despite the fact that, sure, there could have been more lurking, more stalking, we get all that. But in terms of the performance of Michael Myers, in terms of the mask of Michael Myers in Halloween 18 and Kills, that's one of the things they knocked it out of the park with, right? So I think that's why you can have people, I think what people are picking apart with Kills and 18 it's not the Michael Myers aspect. Right. It's some of the things that I've said, the look and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, it's weird. I haven't heard people doing that. And I'm not saying it's not, but just answering your question there, I feel myself kind of needing to recalibrate again because it's a strange question. I don't mean it's a strange, it's weird and, you're weird. I'm just trying to think there are fans out there that are picking apart like crazy 18 and Kills, but defending 5 and 6 and H2O. Well, then they're just fucking idiots. I say that I'm just busting people's balls, but I don't understand how that my only sort of off the top of my head, then my only thought would be then it's recency bias perhaps, but also just nostalgia, I guess. Or they just like the stories better. I guess they just like the stories better, right? It's very subjective in that regard. They just like 5 better. They just like it better, But I will say this. Halloween 5 is a better movie than Halloween Kills structurally and pacing wise. Oh, the story's garbage. Michael Myers is trash. You know what I mean? The cult, the Thorn and the Man in Black and the mask and, the hermit at the beginning and it's all garbage. It's all dog shit. The Myers house, it's garbage. But never when I'm watching that movie do I feel that it has a pacing issue. I don't feel it has a pacing issue. I'm not like, Jesus, God, this is disjointed. I think they needed to re-edit this, I don't feel that. So maybe people just enjoy watching those movies more because they're just more enjoyable to watch. Maybe I don't know. That's a good question. Yeah. Sorry about that. I do know what you're saying, but I haven't come across people really destroying Kills in 18, but defending 5, 6, and H2O. I'm not saying they're not out there, but I haven't come across those people yet. But there's some food for thought for you anyway. Thank you for the super chat. I appreciate that. Darren Slaughtered Lamb sends in £8.99. Thank you, Darren. And says, I tried to contribute 25,000 $25,000 in honor of the channel celebrations, but Google wouldn't allow it. Please make do with 9 quid for being an awesome bloke. Well, thank you so much, Darren. I really appreciate that. And same right back at you for being an awesome bloke. We don't say bloke here, but I do know what that means, of course. Very, very, very cool. I actually had to, the other day, I had to look up what quid was. Like, I'm like, is quid different than pounds? Like, is it a different? And then I realized, no, it's just like how we say dollars or bucks. You know what I mean? It's the same thing. I learned that the other day and I was like, oh, that's so cool. I felt proud of myself. I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. Now I know that. So yeah, I appreciate it. Thank you for the 9 quid. I appreciate that. And right back at you, man. Right back at you. Oh, my phone is. That is my agent. I'll let it go to voicemail. It's not a big deal. It's probably about Friday session. But that's okay. I can call her back. MagaCat says, where's my boy Colin Murdy? He's got to be in here somewhere. Mike Johnson says, I just watched Halloween 78 again the other day. It is without a doubt the best in the franchise. I could not agree more. It's so simple, to the point, well made, fun, and scary. Could not agree more. Could not agree more. Fauci's Cinema sends in $3 and says, Dave, my man, congrats on 25,000. Thanks for inspiring. Thank you, buddy. I really appreciate that. I appreciate the super chat. And folks, don't forget to go over and check out Fauci's Cinema. He's got some great shit going on over there as well. We're all family here, folks. You got to go and check him out as well. Good channel. Good channel. Jesus Freak Bobby Reeves sends in $1.99, says, for the channel, congrats, Dave. Thank you so much, Jesus. Really appreciate that. It's nice that you're taking time out of your busy schedule. But seriously, I appreciate that. Thank you. Let me see. Destiny Faulkner. Hey, Destiny. It's nice to see you here. Sends in $4.99. Thank you. Says, congrats on 25K. Thanks for making work bearable with these streams. Well, you're very welcome. You're very welcome. I'm glad you are enjoying them. And thank you for being a cool chick, as they say. I do see a lot of your photos on Instagram, and you're very talented. I mean, sincerely, I don't know if you have an interest in pursuing a career in makeup or like effects or anything like that. But I haven't seen you beyond what you've showed on Instagram, but certainly how you're able to do yourself up in these cool types of images and characters and stuff. You're incredibly talented. So just saying, I'm just saying. Okay, did I get all the super chats? Let me go back over here. Oh, no, one just came in, ladies and gents. I thought that was Darren again. I was like, Darren's on a roll. No, it is from Holiday Bros. No, that's Holiday Road. Sends in $6.99. Canadian. I have a Canadian here. Oh my goodness, this is amazing. Says, hey Dave, congrats on 25,000. What was your opinion on how they handled the older legacy characters like Brackett and Marion? I personally love them. Well, first of all, buddy, it's great to see a Canadian here in the chat. I was just saying to my viewers early on that I, according to my analytics, only 4.7 or 4.5% of my viewership is Canadian. So whereabouts are you in Canada, man? Are you here in Toronto? Are you out west or out east? You don't have to send in another super chat. You can just at me and I'll be able to see it. But that's really cool, man. And I wasn't happy at all. I was most happy with, and this isn't saying much. Like, this is not saying much. But I think the legacy character they did the best with was Lindsay. I think she had the most to do, which wasn't a lot, but in comparison to, I think she had the most to do, and I think she was, she very disappointed, like I don't even understand why I do understand why, but in terms of the character's motivation, why Brackett would even say, hey, Michael, it's Halloween. I get why they had him say, it's fan service, it's fun, it's cute. I went, it's fun. But when you think about the character's motivation, would he even remember that he said that to Lori 40 years ago? Like, is that one of his sayings that he does? Like, maybe he says it all the time, every Halloween. Maybe he does. Maybe that's what he says. But it came across to me like he was saying it, I don't know, like in passing or something. He bumped into Lori and he's like, oh, excuse me, Lori. Well, it's Halloween. Everyone's entitled to one good scare. Yes, sir. All right, goodbye. Like, I mean, You would think that when you're faced with the man that murdered your daughter, that you would say like, hey, Michael, I'm going to fucking kill you. Or this is for Annie, or something, right? Like, I mean, I get why they said, I know. Dave, why do you have to be such a downer? It was cool, man. It was cool. Of course it was cool. And I smiled when I saw it. But from a writing standpoint, if you want to get nitpicky, it's kind of like, do I really believe he'd say that? Like, would that be his motivation? Like, is this something he says all the time? I mean, it's kind of like Roy Scheider saying, we're going to need a bigger boat. I just like, no, he said it. I mean, not quite like that, but I think you know what I'm saying, right? He actually remembers that? How many times has he said that maybe every Halloween he says it. Maybe he does. I don't know. But I don't believe the legacy characters were handled with care at all. I didn't give... Listen, I'm going to be blunt Dave McRae here, okay, folks? So if you're new, don't interpret this as being arrogant or pompous or pretentious. I'm going to be my theatrical self here. I didn't give a fuck about the legacy characters. And I mean no disrespect when I say that to people who thought they were handled well or to the writers. I just am simply saying that it felt like they were there to die. And I think if you had restructured that middle part of this movie and got rid of that subplot, we could have had more time with them, and then I would have cared. When Brackett got his neck slit, I was like, oh, he's gone. Oh, okay. There goes Marion. The gun didn't work, and this is for Dr. Loomis. That's a weird thing to say. Okay. He's stabbing her. Just stabbing her. He's just stabbing her. Okay. She's dead. And got the scalp removed from her head. Okay. There goes Tommy. Okay. Okay. Well, I guess that's it. There's Lindsay, at least. Like, I mean, I felt nothing. And if you're going to bring back legacy characters, maybe they just brought too many back. Maybe they just brought too many back. There was just too many. The more you bring back, the more time it's going to take to have with them, right? And so maybe they just should have brought back Lindsay and Tommy. Don't worry about Brackett. Maybe, and I say this with all due respect because I know Charles is still alive, Charles Cyphers, but maybe Brackett has passed away. Maybe, Marion has passed away. Like, I understand the fact that they're not. You want to capitalize on that and use them. I totally get that. I understand that. But is it necessary? Did it make the movie better? I don't think so. I don't think it made the movie better at all. And it actually might have made the movie worse. But if you had just brought back Tommy and Lindsay, then maybe we could have just focused on them more, had more time with them, given them more to do, and then became more emotionally attached to them and their arcs, if they had arcs in the film. So yeah, I'm very disappointed with how they handled the legacy characters. I hate to say this, I felt the same for I felt more for Karen than I did Lindsay or Tommy or Marion or Brackett, And I'm not insinuating or suggesting that they should become main players, that all of a sudden they overshadow Karen and Allison. No. I mean, we've started with them. They are the leads. We want to continue with them. But I think if you're going to bring these legacy characters in, you've got to give them something to do. And Lindsay had something to do. Tommy, but Brackett was useless. There was no reason for him to be there. And he didn't even have a moment with Laurie. There was not one scene with him and Laurie. What a wasted opportunity. Not that there needed to be, but you know what I'm saying, right? So yeah, I'm very disappointed with how they handled that. It's always cool to see them. You're sitting there and you're like, oh, it's kind of cool. But, I mean, I could get that by just watching really, as much as I don't like Halloween H2O, Marion Chambers was handled way better at the beginning of H2O. And although she died in the first 15 minutes of the movie, there was more character development. There was hardly any, but there was more character development in that little bit with Marion Chambers in H2O than there was in all of Marion Chambers in H Kills. I've often said on this channel that that Marion and Brackett were the two characters that I was looking forward to seeing most, because I thought that they were going to utilize Marion as sort of that connection to Loomis. I know she mentioned him briefly, but I mean, because she was his nurse. And I thought maybe that, there could have been something that she, info that she would have had, and it just would have been better. No, she was just kind of there. Anyways, I'm disappointed about that. Yeah, it's too bad. I think they could have handled it better. Andrew Stevens sends in $10. Thank you, Andrew. Appreciate that, man. Says, congrats on 25K subs, Dave. Onward to 30K. That's right. Onward to 30K. Oh, what's the poll doing right now? Let me check this poll. The poll is, the poll is at yes. Ooh, yes is in the lead. Yes is in the lead at 54% to 46%. Ladies and gentlemen, it looks like when we bring this stream to a close, I might be saying something for the first time that I have ever said I've had this channel for 16 years, but in terms of doing this kind of thing on YouTube, I have never once asked somebody to subscribe to my channel. Never have. Literally, never have. And those of you that have been watching me long enough know that that's true. But I thought in celebration of 25,000 subscribers that maybe I should start. Maybe it's time to do it. Right? It's kind of like at the end of a sitcom where they're finally going to reveal, the one character that you never saw or the one thing that was always kind of in the background, or it's like, no. Oh, maybe it's time. I don't know. 338 votes, 54% say yes, 46% say no. We're at 2 hours now for this stream. We'll go a little bit longer here, but looks like I might be doing that. Oh, very cool. He says, Holiday Bro says, I'm from Pickering, Ontario. Well, that's just down the street. Man. That's very, very cool. You're from Pickering. Yeah, that's like an hour. Or no, that's not even an hour from Toronto. So that's really cool. Well, a fellow Ontarian is here. Very cool, man. Very, very cool. Well, if I'm ever out and about in Pickering, who knows? Maybe we'll bump into each other. And then we got Al Locken said, Locken says, I'm Canadian too. Amazing. Who are the Canadians in the chat? Let me know. Let me know if you are Canadian and where you're from in Canada, because I do know it's very far and few between. Caleb Digmon sends in $2, says, most accurate H1 Myers mask. Most accurate H1 Myers mask? Well, the H1 Myers mask. Or do you mean like on the independent mask scene? Oh God, I don't know. I mean, there's mine back here, which is an MMK AHG. I think it's incredibly accurate. Let me just get it for you. Okay, 1 second. Just getting it off the thing here. All right, so there's this one. This is my sort of holy grail that I've had for a while. This is the MMK AHG, but there's a lot of them. I mean, there's, back in the day, it used to be Cemetery Gate Productions Fear Mask. The Psycho is a good one. I know the NAG H78 back in the day was good. There's the 98 Proto. There's the Castle Stretch. There's a lot, and they all vary slightly. But just go to Nicholas Art Gallery's sort of, I think he has a site or his Facebook page, and you'll see them there. You'll see there's a lot, and they vary sort of a little bit. But this is this is my H1. There we go. You can see that. Let me put it on this hand here instead. Okay. Oh, I hit my light. Oh no! There we go. So this is the the AHG MMK, All Hallows Ghost MMK. And I for me, this says Halloween 1. Absolutely. So there's the profile. Here's the front. Here you are. And then this profile here. Back here. Whoa, when it goes back further, you can really get an idea of it, right? When it's back further, you really get an idea of it. Woo, woo! Cool stuff. But there's a lot of them out there, Head to the Facebook page, michaelmyers.net, and you'll be able to find a ton of them on there. Very cool indeed. Very cool. All right, let me see here. That was the Caleb one. That's Canadian. Who else is saying they're Canadian? Not too many people. Case in point. Oh, no, there we go. Roland. Oh, yeah, Roland. That's right. I know you're Canadian. That's right. Edmonton, Alberta. Yes, of course. I forgot about you out in Edmonton. Yes. But case in point, we're not seeing too many. So we are alone. Xavier Murray sends in $1. Thank you very much, Xavier. Really appreciate that. It said Al Lochin. Okay. Yeah, because sometimes that can be Loch or Lochin or Lochin. That's just the phonetic VO actor in me. Lochin. Yep, for sure. I should have said that too. Vancouver in the his house. Yes, Vancouver, my man. Shout out to Vancouver. Lee Bauer says there should be deleted scene with Brackett bumps into Lori. You know, it's Halloween and I'm not wearing any underwear. Yeah, for those of you that don't know what Lee Bowers is saying there's a video on my channel that I uploaded just a few weeks ago where I dub over Brackett speaking to Lori. And he's like, excuse me, Lori, you know it's Halloween and I'm not wearing any underwear. And then as he walks off, he's like, Annie, how old is Lori? It's like, fuck, he's a creepy dude, man. He's a creepy dude. He's a creepy dude. That's funny stuff. All right, have I missed any super chats? I don't think I have. Let's see here. Garrett Rogers says, that's just changing of the times with movies. They're going to have that modern look. H-Kills definitely had more of that Halloween look and feels in HD. Yeah, for sure. When it comes to the visual aesthetic alone. We're not measuring anything else. We're not talking about the writing. We're not talking about the dialogue. We're not talking about the disjointed pacing and the clunk. We're not talking about that. Just the way they decided to light the picture. Even when it became present day 18. I liked the way the film looked more than I liked the way 18 looked. I don't hate the way 18 looks. It's a competently made, more than competently made, film. I mean, it's great. There's nothing wrong with it. When I say it's great, I mean, like, it's fine. You know, it's not Halloween 5. You know what I mean? But in terms of just the aesthetic and the look and the feel, it's a bit of a feel. I agree. I like the way things feel a bit better in H-Kills, for sure. But that's an aspect that I like. That doesn't mean that I like the whole movie overall. Like, somebody said to me the other day that maybe it's true, maybe you're just too nuanced for some people, because a lot of people, especially in the world of fandom, right? Things are either a 10 out of 10 or it's shit. And if I say, I really like that movie, people are expecting me to say, it's a 10 out of 10. If I say, I really like that movie, and then I say, I give it an 8 out of 10, there's a certain section of the population that would be like, well, I thought you said you really liked the movie. I did. I gave it a fucking 8 out of 10. Like, what are you talking about, right? So we live in a very polarizing, like, very kind of, just, it's either this or this, right? So, and I'm a very nuanced person. I talk about film and I talk about what I like and what I don't like. I'm very nuanced, because there are many variables at play that help me to decide what I like and what I don't like. So, I have no issues telling you what I like or what I don't like, but I'm always going to approach it from, certain aspects, or I like this, or I like that, or I like this, or I like that. And then hopefully I like more than I don't like. And then that might mean that I really like the movie. Unfortunately, in Halloween Kills, not so much. There's fundamental stuff that needed to be firing on all cylinders. It just wasn't, again, I don't think it's a Halloween Resurrection or a Rob Zombie's Halloween 2 or whatever in terms of the like the Halloween shit. But again, when it comes to pacing, I mean, Resurrection's a better paced movie. Again, we're just talking about pacing, right? Structure, the pacing of the film. Halloween Kills is a weirdly paced movie. It is. And, when so many people are noticing it, then there's got to be some truth to it. Like, it's not like I'm just noticing it, or just a few people did. One of the big things that most everybody has, like one of the major issues most everybody has with Halloween Kills, is not the high body count. It's not the way Michael looks. It's not the music. It's not even the, lack of suspense again. Like, I mean, again, there's some moments of suspense, like in 18, but it's more to do with the disjointness of it. And most people are saying that. So it's there. It exists. It's real. It may not bother you. You may not care about it. But I can certainly tell you that it is there from a writing structure. You know, I actually had, I won't mention his name because I don't know if he wants me to mention his name, but there's a writer who we become friendly with. He watches my channel. Maybe he's watching now. I'm not sure, but he lives in New York, and he's worked on a few things you would know, which is really cool. He's worked with a few people that we all know, which is really cool. And he sent me an email, and he's a writer. I mean, this is his forte. And he sent me an email the other day. Actually, I still have to respond to it, saying that he just got back seeing kills and all that kind of stuff. And he was like, "Whoa, man." You know, and he's talking about what we're all talking about, this thing in the middle that's just like, what is this? You know? So yeah, like it definitely exists. It's definitely there. But yeah, I don't know where I was going with that. What a shock. Won't brain fart. But certainly, yeah, there's yeah, I don't know where I was going with that now. I fucking lost my train of thought. I was answering a question, right? What was I answering? I was answering some question. I've been going... This is what happens when you're firing on all cylinders like me for over 2 hours. Sometimes you hit a wall, and maybe it's time to call it a night. Let me see here. A couple more super chats did come in though. Let me go down here. Got that. Garrett Rogers sends in $1.99, says, "Cheers, Dave. Shape on." Thank you. I'm just laughing at myself. What the fuck was I talking about again? Hey, I'm 42. I'm starting to like, it's starting to happen to me. I don't know if this happens to you, but I will see something and I'm like, oh, I want to look that up. And then one little thing will distract me for 2 seconds, and then I'll completely forget what I was going to look up. And I'm like, oh, fuck. Is this because I'm in my 40s now? I hope it's not. Xavier Murray sends in $20. Very generous. Thank you so much, man. It says, "Keep being great, Dave." Thank you, Xavier. I really appreciate that. Very, very generous super chats today. Thank you. 78 Shades of Shade. I love that. Sends in $10 and says, "Congrats on 25K, McRae. Would you ever consider doing an interview with Halloween Kills flashback Michael Myers, Aaron Armstrong?" Absolutely. Because nobody has done an interview with him yet. Sure. Yeah, for sure. If you wanted to come on the channel and shoot the shit and just talk about it. Yeah, that'd be a lot of fun. I don't know when I'd have the time to do that, but certainly I'm open to anybody coming on. I don't know, like, because I can be a bit of an acquired taste, and I know that. Like I said at the very beginning of this stream, I know there are certain people out there that, you know, as it is with any YouTuber or, you know, you put yourself out there. There are certain people that are not going to like you. There's certain people that are going to think you're, you know, a dick or that you're arrogant or, you know, whatever, right? I'm really not those things, but I do understand how my theatrical, because, you know, we forget I'm not just a YouTuber. I'm an actor, right? That's what I was first before I started doing this as a hobby. So, you know, this is who I am. So I have to be this way. It's part of my personality to be theatrical and, you know, silly and crazy voices and, you know, being over the top. And it's just who I am, right? But I can understand it. It's an acquired taste. So I don't know who watches me. You know, I mean, there might be some of the Halloween alum that watch me that are like, oh, I like that Dave McRae. He's kind of funny. Yeah, you know, whatever. And then there might be some that are like, oh yeah, Dave McRae's a fucking dick. I can't stand that fucking guy. He's such an arrogant, pretentious dick. Could be. Like, could absolutely be, right? So I'm open to having anybody on that wants to come and shoot the shit and talk. But you never know. There might be some people that are like, Dave? Yeah, no. Which is unfortunate because, you know, but I can't stop being me, right? I gotta be me. I gotta be me. I gotta be me. Let me see here. Another generous super chat from Xavier. Dude, seriously, holy shit. Sends in $20. Thank you. Says, Halloween Kills kind of sucked. People overhyped it being too gory and then wasn't near what they said. Yet Halloween isn't known for super gory kills. That's why Jason is my favorite. Yeah, well, I think too, listen, there's always part of this having... Halloween Kills was delayed a year, so there was high expectations for this movie. And as much as a lot of people out there like to say they're going in was, you know, I mean, I was able to do it, but that's me. Not everybody can do. I do believe people genuinely want to temper their expectations, but I think once they get into the movie theater and the fucking movie starts, it's hard for them to keep their expectations in check. And this was a movie that was delayed by a year. It was supposed to come out a year ago. So, there's all this hype and there's all this anticipation, and I don't think it delivered, at least not to the degree that I think most Halloween fans were hoping. I think it's a very divisive film. Now, maybe in subsequent watches and once the weeks turn into months and the months turn into years, maybe, it will be looked back upon as more favorably. I don't know. I'm not sure, but who knows? Stranger things have happened, but certainly it is it's one of the, 18 was like, it kind of feels like The Force Awakens and The Last Jedi. I'm not saying Halloween Kills is The Last Jedi. I'm just saying that Halloween 18 was generally liked. The Force Awakens was generally liked. People were very excited about The Last Jedi. People were very excited about Halloween Kills, and Halloween Kills comes in and fucking splits everybody down the middle. And it's like, and it doesn't feel like there's a middle ground. It feels like it's you either hate it or you don't. I mean, I don't hate the movie because I'm looking at it from maybe a different perspective than the average person. I don't know. But I certainly can't say that I like the movie. It's one of those weird things. I don't hate Halloween Kills. I would watch it over probably most of the sequels. But I can't say I like it. It's fucking weird. It's strange. But then the movie's only been out for like a week and a bit. We need to let this sit for a while. We need to let it sit for a while. That's not an excuse. That's just what I think you have to do. You gotta let it marinate. Caleb Digmon sends in $5. Thank you, buddy. Says, favorite moment from shooting the night he came back. Oh my God, that thing. And also, did you see your Holy Grail mask? Or did you use my Holy Grail mask? For that, yes, that mask was used in that. Oh yeah, so that was that little Halloween fan film that I did 5-6 years ago now. That's like just going out with friends and having fun. That's not a, like with It's Me, Billy, that's like a whole different level, right? This is just, with your buddies having fun. And we had a lot of fun, and it was fun to shoot it. We did. We had a lot of fun. My favorite moment from that, I don't know. I don't know if I have a favorite moment from that. I do remember that when we had all the equipment in the back of this U-Haul truck, and the keys went missing. And we had to call a locksmith to come to our location to open the back of the truck because we had no idea where the keys went. And then we had to drive to the U-Haul place to get a second set of keys just to drive the truck back there. I remember that. That was fucking annoying because like it wasn't like It's Me, Billy, right? Where we had like a $60,000 budget. We're shooting on Hollywood level equipment with a professional crew that works in the business, with professional actors, where, we had a schedule and, all that. Like it was, for all intents, it's a real film, right? This was like hanging out with your buddies. And so things were like, we weren't prepared like that. So that was a real kind of wedge in our day because we lost a lot of our day. I mean, you would have lost a lot of your day on a professional set too, but there's more room to, with this, it's like, oh God, I remember that was tough. Favorite moment though, I don't know what my favorite moment was. Maybe just hanging with friends. Just hanging with friends, having fun. I know that sounds like such a lame answer, but I don't remember it. I have to give it some thought. But I do remember losing those keys. Holy jeez. Oh, Mark Southam sends in $5, says, always watch you, but rarely live. Very cool. Well, you're live right now, my man. Listen, we've been on so long, my light has gone out. That tells me we've been over 2 hours. I love your ability to find good moments in bad movies and areas to improve in good movies. Very cool. Recommending IMDb to all. It's Me, Billy. I assuming that's what you mean. Yes, thank you. Yes, folks, if you haven't checked out our Black Christmas fan film on the channel, It's Me, Billy, please do check it out. Give it some support. If you are a Black Christmas fan, if you are not a Black Christmas fan and you loathe Black Christmas, the original, then you probably will have no interest in watching it. But it is a direct sequel to the original film, all professionally shot, professional film through and through. So if you're interested, check it out. It's on my channel. We're going to start promoting it again heavily here on the channel after Halloween, because obviously Christmas is coming up again. So that'll be fun. And very cool. Like, thanks for being here, man. I really appreciate that. That's awesome. That's awesome. Nick sends in $5 and says, Dave, congrats on 25,000. McRae's chocolate milk is your favorite, Dave, congrats on the 25K. McRae's chocolate milk is your flavor of choice. Yes, but what is your brand choice? Oh, Yoo-hoo, Dean's, Nesquik, or a Canadian brand? Probably Nestle, which is Canadian, I believe. Do you get Nestle in the States? I think Nestle's a Canadian brand. I would say Nestle, but I do like Quick. Quick is good, or Nesquik, I should say. But there's one called Nestle too. Listen, chocolate milk's chocolate milk at the end of the day, as far as I'm concerned. But I do like Nestle chocolate milk. Frank Riker, my man, Frank the Tank, coming in at the very end with $5 and says, for the 25,000 sexy MFers who subscribe to Dave, here's a big ol' reach around. I love it. I love it. I love it. Slapping everybody's ass. It's terrible. It's terrible. Thank you very much, Frank. I really appreciate that. I appreciate that. Roland says, hey, Dave, AHG is from Vancouver. Yes, I know. His name's Mike, isn't it? Roland? I think his name is Mike. He goes by the acronym All Hallows Ghost, but I think his name is Mike. I think his name is Mike. Okay, we're going to go another 10 minutes. Another 10 minutes. We're going to bring this thing to 2.5 hours here on the celebration, 25,000 subscriber celebration. I hope everybody has been enjoying themselves this afternoon. And that poll, man, it looks like the yes is winning. Looks like the yes is winning. I can't fucking believe that. Holy shit. It looks like I'm going to be saying something for the first time ever on the channel. Ever on the channel. Tigerman says, I don't think it's Canadian. It's a Swiss brand. Oh, is it Swiss? Oh, okay. It's a Swiss brand. All right. Well, there you go. Will Oxley sends in $4.99, says, I'd love to see a Dave McRae Halloween fan film with the same budget as It's Me, Billy. Congrats on 25,000. Well, I have no interest in doing, if I'm going to do another fan film, it's going to be the follow-up to It's Me, Billy. Because for those of you that don't know, It's Me, Billy ends on an epic cliffhanger. It was designed that way, right? You've heard me say that it was designed to be episodic. That's because it's always easier. Because if we wanted to tell the whole story of It's Me, Billy, we would have had to have asked for like $150,000 or something like that, right? We would have had to at least have doubled our production budget. Well, we barely made $60,000. So this just shows you we wouldn't have been able to do it. So it was the right thing to do, to sort of make, half the movie for all intents and purposes. And then if people really like it, and if it does well and there's a demand for it, well, then we can finish it. And I have spoken I'm pretty sure Greg would be willing to come back. He's our DP. I think he would come back for sure. Bruce, obviously, myself and Bruce. Victoria has said she would be willing to come back, of course. And I know that Caro, who played Agnes, Mrs. Crane, she'd be willing to come back. And I know Brian, who played Billy, would be willing to come back as well. But we're letting the film marinate for a bit because we want it to, we want more people to see it first, and we want to see, if the demand is out there and all that kind of stuff. But yes, it does end on an epic cliffhanger. And I personally want to finish that story. Like, that would be, if I was going to do another fan film, and I put it in quotes because, really, things like Never Hike Alone, In the Snow, It's Me, Billy. I mean, they're fan films in names only, but these are, professionally made films, right? I would want to do that. I would want to finish our story. I have no interest in doing a Halloween fan film at that level for two reasons. Number one is the Halloween fan film, and I understand that nobody has done it at that level yet, but I love you guys, but sometimes I get Halloweened out, and just kind of like, I just don't want to do. That's why we chose to do Black Christmas. We didn't want to go for the low hanging fruit, so we wanted to do something else. And Trancas and Universal have been more, when it comes to Halloween fan films, I know that there have been some fan films out there that have elevated their production value, not to the level of like It's Me, Billy, or never hike in the snow or anything like that. But maybe a step or two below that. They've gotten sort of maybe higher in the middle or something, and Trancas has shut it down. So, I mean, folks, like, you have to remember that we shot It's Me, Billy on the Airy Mini. Halloween Kills, at least some of Halloween Kills, I don't know if the whole film was, but certainly some of it was shot on the Airy Mini. Like, so we're shooting on the same equipment, so if I was to put out a Halloween fan film that looked like Halloween Kills, I mean, I think they're going to have a problem with that. I have that feeling they're going to have a problem with that. So, and it's just because of there's been issues with Halloween films, like how there's been issues with like Star Trek fan films and like, you know what I mean? But that was a while ago. I mean, maybe there's no issue with that now. I have no idea. But if Blumhouse finds out that I'm shooting a Halloween fan film on the Mini with a professional crew, on the Airy Mini with a professional crew, and we're going full on with jibs and track and cranes and dollies and shit, I mean, it's like, uh-oh. I mean, probably not. That's probably not going to fly. It flew with Black Christmas because, I don't know. It's Black Christmas, I guess. Not a lot of people care about it. I don't know, but yeah, so I don't really have an interest to do that. I would want to finish my It's Me, Billy story and then do original content, original films, which, no, I can't say anything yet. Darren says, you appreciate the reach around? Yeah, what the hell not? Will Oxley says, I just didn't know if I got that. Thank you, buddy. Sends in 499, says, I'd love to see. Oh, no, I already answered that. Okay, I think I've answered all the super chats. Have I answered all the super chats? I believe I have. Are there super chats that I have missed? There's 5 minutes left in the show. Are there super chats that I've missed? I don't believe so. I'm scrolling back here. I don't believe so. Let me see if I get a few non-super chats in here as well. Let me see here. Evil Alex says, Dave, what iconic cartoon characters would you love to voice one day in your life? Well, I don't know. That's a good question because I'm not an impersonator. So I can't really do cartoon, like in current cartoon voices. I can't say I would love to voice, I'd love to voice Daffy Duck. I would love to voice Daffy Duck, but I can't do Daffy Duck's voice. So I'll just say that I would love to be able to do Daffy Duck's voice and be able to voice Daffy Duck. And I know who does voice him. And I know I've said that before. I always say I got to get him on the channel. And I sincerely mean that. I do. He's a fellow Canadian voice actor by the name of Eric Bauza. He's from Toronto. He lives out in Los Angeles now. But I keep saying I got to get him on the channel. And I do. He's a talented mofo. He also does, but he's currently doing Bugs Bunny and Daffy for the new Looney Tunes on HBO Max. And he's he's done stuff for Ninja Turtles and he's fucking talented dude. So I got to get him on the channel. But yeah, but I would love to, he can do Daffy Duck, obviously. I am jealous. Totally jealous because Daffy Duck's my favorite Looney Tunes character and I would love to be able to do Daffy Duck. So I'll say Daffy Duck. Cody Snyder sends in $2, says 25K, baby. Yes. 25,000. It's actually, what is it technically? It's over 25,000. It is, let's see if I can go to my YouTube studio here. It is technically 25,083. So we're closing in on 25,100, which is pretty good. On our way to 30,000, baby. On our way to 30,000. Blair Hathaway says, Dave, can we see your Halloween jacket? Yes, you can. This is from Fright Rags. Let me just put up the other window here so I can see what I'm doing. This is from Fright Rags. And there it is. So this is the front of it, obviously. And then it's got the 78 there on the front. And on the back, it's got the Halloween... Oh, there we go. Halloween pumpkin on the back. Pretty cool stuff. It's very cool. Very cool indeed. And I don't wear it very often, as you probably have figured out. It usually is always sitting here on the back of my chair. Actually, it always is sitting here on the back of my chair. I don't even know the last time I did a video or went live when it wasn't there, like literally maybe even a couple years ago. I don't wear it too often because I don't want to ruin it. And I feel kind of like, it almost feels like a special occasion jacket. Like I would feel weird just like wearing that. Well, I guess I could wear it to the movies. That's kind of, it's a movie and I'm going to the movies, but I'd feel weird just wearing that to like the grocery store or something, or out with, I don't know. It just feels, too like it needs to be like a special occasion. Like I'm going to watch Halloween or I'm going to a convention or, something like that. You know what I mean? But it's a cool jacket. Pretty cool indeed. All right, we're getting down to the wire here. Watch out, Jack says, Dave films a better Halloween sequel that looks amazing with great writing, only for it to get copyright claimed by Blumhouse. Well, that would totally happen. I have a feeling, like, again, I mean, the reason why, and again, maybe some studios are loosening up. It's entirely possible because, I'm talking about how it used to be like 5-10 years ago. And maybe some studios are loosening up a bit. Not completely. I mean, you can't just run your, film and just go off like it's nobody's business and start making, money. But maybe some studios, I'm purely speculating here, but maybe some studios are beginning to be a little more lenient with fan films, especially the higher caliber fan films. I mean, the ones like Billy, Never Hike in the Snow, what Cecil's going to be doing with Dylan's New Nightmare. They're being a little more lenient with the ones that are real movies because they're short films and because they see them as free advertising. As long as it's not monetized, it's not making money, and it's not being advertised as the real thing. Maybe they're getting to a point now where it's like, what, if we can't beat them, join them. And maybe, it's free advertising for us and we'll just let it be. And not that they don't monitor sort of what's happening, but they just kind of let it go. Maybe that's happening now. But because Halloween is very hot right now, and it's in demand right now, I don't think there is any way I could have shot a Halloween fan film with what we shot It's Me Billy with, made it look like how It's Me Billy looked, and which is basically what they're, like I said, it's a real film, and have gotten away with it because Halloween is relevant right now. Halloween's current right now. And if I drop a fan film online that, again, fan film, right? I mean, it's only fan film because I don't own the rights to it. But if I drop a Halloween fan film that looks like It's Me Billy, the same year that Kills is coming out, no fucking way. No fucking way. No way that they'd be like, oh, yeah, don't worry about it. Especially if it's better, especially if it's getting better reviews. No way. They'd go, they would take that, 100% they would, because Halloween is hot, it's current, it's relevant. They don't want to be, I mean, yeah, they don't want, part of it could be ego too, but yeah, no way. I don't see this happening. I think part of the reason why Vince has been able to get away with so much with Friday and I've been able to kind of just roll through with Black Christmas is because nobody liked the 2019 Black Christmas, so it came and went, or it went as fast as it came, and it's not relevant. It's not in demand. It's not a big thing. It's not in the pop culture consciousness like Halloween is. So that's why I think if I was to raise $60,000 or $100,000 and go out to shoot a Halloween fan film now and shoot it on the Airy with Greg and our crew and go out, no way. I dropped that first trailer. And you've seen the trailers for It's Me Billy. I've had a number of people go, this looks like a fucking, like, is this well, yeah, because it's supposed to look that way, because it is for all intents and purposes. Like, it's a short film, but I mean, yeah, there's no way. I tweet out a Halloween fan film like I did with Billy, like a trailer, and no way. There's no way I could get away with it, and like I said, I'm not into, the next fan film I do is going to be the finishing Billy's story, like finishing that story, right? If we get a chance to do it, because it's not guaranteed. Fingers are crossed. And then of course, original stuff. All right, I've gone over, but that's okay, because I tend to chat a lot and never shut the hell up. All right, folks, listen, that is going to do it for me here on this 25,000 celebration. I want to thank my great moderators, Frank Riker, Tabitha Shore, Darren Sands, and Chris Baber, for doing what you guys do. You guys are here on the regular. They are, I consider them friends. We've gotten to know each other a fair bit over the last couple of years, and I consider the four of you friends. And I know we haven't met in person yet, but certainly I appreciate what you do and our conversations we have, outside of the shows too. And I think you guys are amazing. So thank you so much for modding my channel and keeping the flow of the chat room going, because it may look easy, but it's not. It's not easy, especially when you get, today's not too bad. We've just had about between 150 and 200 people. But when we get like over 500 people in there, they got their work cut out for them. And I really appreciate what you guys do. Sincerely. I think you guys are awesome. And thank you to all the super chat questions that came in today. I appreciated it. Again, my apologies for not getting to more of the non-super chat ones. But because it was a special occasion and a special stream, I figured that might happen. And obviously the super chat ones take priority for obvious reasons, but you all are amazing. Thank you for watching me. Thank you for continuing to support the channels in the ways that you do. Always remember, we do not have to agree on everything. Don't come to me looking for me to reaffirm what you already like. Always come to me to find out what Dave thinks. And if I don't like what you like, that's okay. It doesn't mean I don't like you. It doesn't mean I think you're a piece of crap. It doesn't mean I think that your fandom is not valid. Just always remember that long before I came to YouTube, I was an actor. I am an actor. I'm a professional voice actor. I work in the business, and I have that kind of personality. I'm always doing crazy voices and being theatrical. I'm a performer, and so I can't do this kind of thing without being crazy and theatrical. It does not mean that I am a condescending, pretentious douchebag. So don't, take me seriously, but don't take me too seriously. It's entertainment. I'm having fun. Okay. I'm having fun, and I like busting balls. Not in that way, but I think you know what I mean. Bom, bom, bom. Over everybody's head. So, and it looks like I'm going to be saying something for the very first time that I've ever said on this channel. The poll went up. 406 of you have voted. And the question was, should I, for the first time, tell people to subscribe to me? If you're just tuning in late, I never have. I've never asked anybody to subscribe to me. And then I realized this like 2 years ago, and then it became a thing. I was like, I can't ask anybody. I can't start now. I've gone so long. I can't start now. But it's 25,000 subscriber celebration. It's a special occasion. The poll went up. I'm going to end the poll now. The results are in. The results are in. 408 of you have voted. 54% of you said yes. 45% of you said no. So, ladies and gentlemen, that is going to do it for me. I will be back soon. I don't know when, but soon. Don't forget to hit that notification bell. Don't forget to, what is it? Smash that thumbs up button. Don't just fucking hit it. Smash that thumbs up button. I want you to smash that thumbs up button. That was a bit overkill. Okay. And hit that subscribe button and subscribe to me if you like what you see. That felt weird. Almost felt like I was being unfaithful to myself. Strange. In the meantime and in between time, I will talk to you soon. Cheers.